You're old, groaning like a geezer.
Wow, everybody. Welcome back. We're on a 2-week hiatus. That was my fault. I went to San Diego Comic-Con, but just between you and I, if we had done it last week, Kelsey couldn't have made it last week because he double booked over the top of his own show. Who does that? But anyway, luckily for him, I was gone, so we didn't do it, but we are back. And I've never been less prepared to do a show than I am right now. So let me bring in my cohorts so they can be as less prepared as I am. First of all, he may have gone disco. Let's find out. It's David Williams. Wow. I am tripping hard, man. What? I think I have one of those things for like Christmas time where you shine the light up on your house and it does like puts patterns up there. Now that weed's legal, man, I'm going to have to, roll a blunt. Is that what they call it? And, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of blunt, here he is, Gary Martin. He'll tell it like it is always.
Hey, I'm ready for the show. Check out the new golf shirt.
Do you actually golf though?
Yeah.
No, he pimps.
He wears his golf shirt. Oh my gosh. Well, we haven't missed a beat. We have not missed a beat. As you can see in the corners, I'll bring Kelsey in just a second, but as you can see in the corners, we're doing Gil Kane today. And we were just discussing before the show started, well, are we doing just his creations? Are we doing anything he touched? We'll get into this a little bit later, but you can see there's two things, Gary, on either side of you on the screen. There's Savage and then Black Mark were Gil Kane creations that we talked about. So possibilities right there. Everybody put your hands together for the skunk ape himself, Kelsey Shannon. Hey, Kelsey.
Okay.
I tell you what, I'm not ready for this show, but I might be ready for some LSD. Looking at D.
We're all just like
we're
tripping hard.
Hello. Yeah. All right, so what do we got? We got Transformers, right? What are we doing? Something cool.
Yeah, we're doing robots and ninjas today.
All right.
No, this is Gary's fault. Gary picked the categories, and we end up with Gil Kane.
I had no idea. I thought Wally Wood would be a slam dunk. I had no idea Gil Kane was so popular.
Yeah, which of the three characters?
Which of the three characters that Gil Kane's created are we going? Yeah. We're gonna have to like draw straws.
yeah, we each get one, whichever one. Doesn't matter. There's only three of them. We can.
That's right.
I thought Wally Wood was made for this, drawing panel.
Well, it's like people forgot I was going to be here. Wally Wood, Hot Babes. I'm like the modern Wally Wood. That's me. Let's do this.
Exactly.
Well, you got Sally Forth. I was actually thinking of doing the Spirit in Space because you remember when he did
that
with
would have been
Eisner.
awesome. See what you guys missed by voting Gil Kane.
Yeah, but what do we get from Gil Kane? We get Black Vest. What was his name?
Black Vest.
Black Mark.
Black Mark. That sounds like Skid Mark. That's no good.
Skid Mark.
Our friend Corin Kaiser Stone says the cops are at David's house.
Yeah.
And that
as usual.
Yeah.
As usual, right? It's not the first
time.
Yeah.
Well, let's see who's in the chat here. Repairman Jack is joining us. He says, ahoy to everyone. Best show on YouTube. Boy, isn't that the truth. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick, of course, is almost always here. H is for Heretic. Toshiro is here. Says, thank God it's been too long. Boy, hasn't it, though? My homie Ellie Munoz is claiming he was here first, but he clearly wasn't. so he's a liar. Nomadaman is here. Kevin Thomas, Marcus Killigrew, pop culture knowledge extraordinaire. Jughead Grayson has joined us today. Schism, Ronan, Tarks9 from Canada is here. Bill Weist, Anonymity 2T, Citizen Ronan, who's going to get cannonballed on Sunday for his the abuse I took last night in the professionals. Jeff Potts, if Kelsey is Sasquatch, what does that make Aaron? Okay, Jeff, now you're going to get cannonballed. Let's see here.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm trying to think of
Harry for that. Biblio Bob is here or something like that.
Bively Bob.
Bibly Bob, thank you. Corn Kaiser Stone, he wants to know, do you epilepsy much, David? So isn't that that warning they gave out in front of the Spider-Man Ultraverse Spider-Man multiverse movies, like that, you know, if you have epilepsy or heart problems, you shouldn't watch this movie because
flashing lights.
Yeah. James GSR says, wow, I came at a bad time.
Hold on a second. Asking David if he has epilepsy is like asking a fat woman if she's pregnant.
Meaning it's a given? Or
yeah. Brian Norton's joining us all the way from Japan. Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Christina Lynn is here. She's waiting to proofread Wraith of God Blunders, and it won't be long now, Christina. Ronan, we already said Brian, and 999, blah, blah, blah. TC. Cooley Cotton is here. I don't know who that is, but welcome to the show.
TC, the helicopter pilot from Magnum, right?
Cooley Cotton?
Oh, no, maybe not.
Yeah. Forget I said anything.
That could have been his name. All I ever heard was TC. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes
Robert
sense.
Doan is here. Don't they have like Doan's pills? Remember those? Weren't they like aspirin or something?
They're for backache.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so Robert Doan is here for your backache.
The old man. It's for backache.
Right.
My back.
I need those. Give me
Evil
2 of
One
them.
is here. George Liqueur is here. He says Waif of Grodd. What's he getting at there? Was he in Waif of? Oh, Wraith of God. I get it. Paul Brillard, our resident. I was going to say archaeologist, but that's not right. He's an engineer.
It's got many talents.
Jughead Grayson, can I get a cannonball on Sunday? Well, Jughead, you got to earn it. Nintendo Ginger is here. All right, you guys, please hit the like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. It helps this channel grow. And we are growing like wildfire. We are the biggest, hottest thing on the internet. So, or at least
that sounds like me. I'm the biggest, hottest thing on the internet right now. It's freaking burning up for here, man. It's like 97 degrees.
Your beard's catching on fire. What do they call it? Spontaneous combustion. Remember when that used to be a thing? They were like, it was like on the in search of shows and all that stuff. Spontaneous combustion. You haven't heard about that in a long
Catching
time.
on fire for no reason.
Yeah, mostly it's smoking in bed. You know, I think
that also that will spontaneously combust you. You got to wonder with all the climate change hysteria and the temperatures rising. You'd think that spontaneous combustion would like that there'd be growing numbers of that rather than less. So I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me.
It's almost like it's a big myth.
Yeah, it's like it's not even true.
The spontaneous combustion. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you're not talking. No, you just can't believe anything you read on the internet anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be a place where you could go for knowledge and truth. And
Marcus,
it's called the library. It still exists.
Read my mind. I was going to ask the chat to recommend Gil Kane characters. He's already laid down some major ones.
Yeah, but those. Okay, so we were talking about this. Are we ready to get into this?
Sure.
So there's three characters he created. Wait. Okay.
Wait, before we get into the Gil Kane thing.
Oh, it's true. We're going to share.
There's a big thing. No, not the art share. Aaron just came back from one of his best shows that he had all year. Let's keep in the spirit of the comic book convention, and then we can roll into all of this other nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we got 3 hours to fill, or however long Aaron takes to draw a picture.
How long does it take me to draw and paint man thing?
That's true. Talk about that while you're drawing, right?
I'm dying to hear about the San Diego
That's
show.
True,
actually.
David. I can share San Diego stories whilst we're creating too.
And you got some pictures, right?
Yeah. See, now you're thinking, David. Wait till the show. Get them.
Yeah,
sharing.
right. And then I got to stop and show
your
pictures.
acquisition.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not. Yeah. Kelsey, Robert Doan of Doan Pills wants to know, Kelsey, what is the estimated shipping date for Scribbles?
We're working on that right now. In fact, let me see. Where's my little window? Just to let everybody know, we did close out today. I was sitting at Walmart picking up groceries when it happened, so I couldn't really do anything or notify anybody. I'm going to make an update and let everybody know where it's at. So it's closed out.
Closeout stream.
Yeah, that's my closeout. That's how I do things, baby. We just got to roll with it. I got stuff to do. But anyway, we're gonna make this an online store. We're doing some overprints, but we're looking at printers and stuff right now, shipping dates and all that. So I'm not really sure even where to guesstimate it at this point, but it shouldn't be. I don't know, depending on where it's printed at, that's going to mean a lot. But I'm definitely going to keep you posted on where that's at. I can't really do anything until I get back from this dang show. Going to Tampa.
Do you need printer connections? Because I can.
No. We got a lot. I got a lot. Okay. I've been doing this for a long time. If everybody wants to give me their printers, I've been collecting printers for 20 years.
Okay.
But here we got. Also, just want to say, since I mentioned that we're going to Tampa this weekend.
Let me make you big.
Yeah, I'm doing a print for the Tampa Bay Comic-Con to commemorate. Awesome. Here we go, Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Awesome. Yeah, this will be the first appearance of Shank and this lady here, who I have not named. I do have a name for her. Boobs. Yeah, her name is Boobs. Yeah. Soon to be a hit series, yes. But if you're going to be there, this will be a Tampa Bay Comic-Con exclusive there. And Phil Diaz was kind enough to make these prints. I think he'll have them at his table. I'm not really sure, but
those are nice. I like that.
Thanks, Phil. Did a great job.
I'm not Phil, but you're welcome for the compliment.
Thank you.
I'm not Phil, okay?
We'll keep you updated on
Kelsey,
where.
I think you're onto something. You just have a pinup of a babe, and then your character, you're lurking in the background.
In the background.
Yeah, I know what sells. Let's put the most important things up front, shall we?
That's right. Oh yeah, and I'm doing this book called Shank. He's way back there in the shadows.
That's genius. Just draw whatever you want, and then.
Well, full disclosure, I was doing a pinup for John Malin's pinup book, The Visions 2, number 2 to come out. And I did that one, and I wasn't quite happy with it, and he was hoping for a double pager. So I did a double pager for him that he'll have exclusive, and I'm making this one a print. So every part of the buffalo. I want you to get some cool stuff. So
hey, Schism wants to know, how do I get one of those prints without being in Tampa?
I don't know. I guess that defeats the purpose of it being exclusive.
Well, no, what you do is you bring the leftovers home and then jack the price up and then
you just get your handy Sharpie and cross out
the exclusive.
And write in whatever city he's.
Well, I'm talking to Phil. Like I said, we're closed out this campaign, but I'm going to make it an online store. I'm going to have some overprint copies that can be on there. Maybe do a few signed and maybe some more prints. So I'll keep if you've signed up and you're catching updates and stuff, I'll let you know about any kind of goodies coming down the line.
You could make it if you could go back and augment the color just a little, and it becomes another exclusive that you could have.
That's right.
Yeah.
The home exclusive.
The more red version. Yeah.
There you go.
No, do the swamp exclusive. And then that'll be coming right out of your house.
There you go.
The swamp exclusive.
I don't know if I want swamp related to a hot woman,
That's true.
Picture. It might not be a great connotation, but I could do a Graybeard's version and put beards on them.
Yeah. There you go.
Graybeard's exclusive.
Hey, Kelsey, can you show that robot piece that you did?
Yeah, can you show that robot piece?
Yeah. I almost forgot. Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Well, while he's looking, let me alert everybody that our friend of the show, Corinne Kaiser Stone, has a book, an art book, like character design and stuff on Fund My Comic as well right now. So if you guys weren't aware of that, go to Fund My Comic and check that out.
I really want to get him on my show. I was going to try this week. It's just, man, so busy. So next week when I get back from the show, I want to have him on. Narwhal.
He's going to be on my show next week.
No, my show.
Well, he's going to be on my show next week.
I guess maybe
I don't have a
both.
show, but he's going to be on mine.
All right, I found it here. Let me see.
Everybody's asking again if David's under arrest. If
why is everyone assuming?
Wow, yeah. Oh, look, he's cuffed. There it is. All right. Talk about this piece again, will you?
Yeah, this was a little experiment. I wanted to see how my printer would do. Like, you know how they used to color comics by doing an ink wash first, and then they'll have the ladies cut the film and all that, so you get that super flat color. Right. But they'll print it out and then color over the print. So this was a digital drawing that I did a long time ago, and I took a nicer piece of paper, about as thin as I could get through my printer, my current printer anyway, and printed it out and used the color inks, these Bombay colors from Dr. P.H. Martin, and colored it up, which handled the ink line really well. Like, it didn't cover anything, and didn't really had to go over.
Printer ink not bleed.
No, but it does in other colors. Like I have had a couple bleeds, or it just isn't as rich, or it'll fade. There's some different kind of stuff, but the black holds up really well. And I thought it was just a fun experiment. It came out pretty good.
Yeah, I like. What's that piece from?
It's just a random drawing. I grew up looking at like album covers from. I think the one I'm thinking of specifically is Guns N' Roses. I think maybe had this album cover where there was, I forget the painter, the artist of it, but it had this like robot guy in a trench coat and a hat, like a robot slasher / peeping Tom guy or whatever. And he's like killed some guy and he's chasing after the woman or something like that. And I just wanted something like that where it was like a robot and then this girl in the alleyway. And then I thought, well, and he's got a knife. I'm like, oh, that's awful. So yeah. I made it even worse by having her grab his tie, like she's into it.
Fighting him now.
Well, no. The way I see it is that they're about ready to make a business arrangement, and someone's coming up, and so he pulled the knife to protect his.
Oh, there you go.
He's not after the woman. He's after whoever's coming around the corner.
Yeah, Aaron's got the right idea.
Hey, you perv, get out of here.
Yeah, that's kind of that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, that's what I thought. So.
She's mine. Yeah, see, that's a better
that's
way
right,
to look
exactly.
at it.
And I got a knife to prove it.
So there you go. That was fun.
All right, David. If David has not been hauled off, let's. I know you've got a couple pieces, David, that you want to share with us. So let's do that.
Well, I finally finished this. Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel.
That's the way it should be, right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I did this in the Dr. Martin inks, like what Kelsey's been doing. And this was more of an experiment to see what they were like in comparison to gouache. But I did use gouache on these just to get them in. But everything else is the Dr. Martin inks.
That red of her outfit and her sash is like the reddest red I've ever seen painted. It's so flat and perfect.
I went over it and over it and over it and over it. So it takes some time to get it that vibrant and stuff.
Was this a commission, or are you just doing it for the heck of it?
I was just doing it because of what Kelsey, and I said, okay, I got to try these. So I had to find a drawing that I wanted to paint over, and I just did it real quick. And
it looks great.
Yeah, it does.
What are you thinking? Are you liking the inks more than
I like them for certain parts, and I'm thinking I don't have to be a slave to any one thing on a given piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I want to use whatever it takes to make it look right. And I used some of these Copic multi-liners because they're in color. They're not black. And I did the color hold line. So you have like the darker red around your skin instead of hard black. You know, and it gives it kind
I like that look. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives it like an animation feel. So it kind of, you could push things forward and back with these and stuff like that. You just got to be cognizant not to just do a black contour around everything.
We got your first bid is $50 confirmed. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the show.
And you also heard it here on Graybeard's first. David doesn't want to be a slave.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I was wondering if Gary would jump on that or not. I was sitting back and waiting.
Ain't nobody's slave.
All right, now we're up to $100 confirmed. So we'll keep track of that as the show goes.
Man. First Man, look at that. It's awesome.
And I did this for our buddy, Andy Smith of First Man, his awesome character. And it was fun doing it because I'm kind of trying to think like, he does everybody so ripped and big.
Yeah.
And even when I did this, I said, he's not big enough.
Yeah.
David, I
pretty
told
big.
you not to use my biceps.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at a picture of Graham Nolan, and I said, still not big enough, you know. But this was fun doing, and
Dad's Den of Pop Culture says Brohawk Unchained. We may have a movie coming up there.
And he just wanted pencils, so I'm assuming he'll probably ink it, and I look forward to seeing that if he does.
That's
that.
just pencils?
Yeah,
It's so dark.
Yeah, I didn't see. Oh, okay, now I see it. Yeah.
Wow.
So Andy's going to ink it probably, huh?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it needs to be inked, and that's coming from an inker.
Well, it's so dark, and I didn't even realize it wasn't inked until
But
I can
you've
see it
got,
now in the black. But
Cursive line weights in there too. I mean, come on, David, who does that?
Listen, Gary's trying to angle it. No, you don't need this to be inked unless it's me. I'll take it.
That's right. That's right. And for the mods, if you're in there, please put Andy's campaign up there, Core Draft. This is some of Andy's best work that he's been doing in recent years, and he's always great, but Core Draft is exceptional. So please check out that book, and when he comes out with another First Man, be sure to get that. But this was fun. This was fun to do, and I did another thing.
Brother.
Oh yeah,
I did this Wolverine.
There it is.
That's so ridiculously awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How do you come up with these shots, man? I've never seen that shot before.
Great. Yeah,
it's great. It's so good.
He was fired out of a cannon.
Yeah, it does.
Well, Colossus is out of the shot where he threw him.
yeah, the cannonball special. Yeah, he's right out of frame.
But he's so primal. I mean, you captured that beast in him so well.
If you could take David's like superior layout and design and combine it with my superior skill, you'd have the
and Gary's inking, and maybe you guys all three together will have a chance against me. Yeah, I agree.
There you go.
chance to make it.
And my superior delusional talent.
That's right. And then maybe we could come in third to Kelsey.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or at least finish it today.
If it were a competition, but it's not. Oh no, that's a great piece, David. Those are great.
Yeah,
but all of these are
all these are available, he says. Yeah.
Well, we know that the Ms. Marvel piece is $100 confirmed right now. We'll see if it grows during the to a point.
That looks like a print out of a magazine. I swear I'm looking at like print. I mean, that is so good.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. I think it's the fade of what's his name's red in the background. Oh yeah, look at this guy.
Another sneak peek at one of my characters coming soon.
Oh man.
What's his name?
Fright Night.
Fright Night.
For real.
That's great. I love these names.
I want to see more Black Power.
He's my favorite. Don't worry.
Oh, it's coming. We're gonna pay for this. No.
Look at this. Dad's Den of Pop Culture says, watching these streams reminds me of how much fun comic books can be.
Yeah,
Amen, brother.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
That's what
That's
David's
great.
all about.
hilarious.
Not for me. Let's go
All
to
right.
G-Money.
Let's see what Gary's got in store for us. You want me to share this, Gary, or are you going to?
Let me grab this first. I showed the
Okay.
pencils to this like several weeks ago.
Oh,
So,
dude.
Jeez.
military
Look at
covers.
this. Oh.
I've got a delivery.
What? It can wait. You're showing us some art.
Yeah.
So this is the finished cover, and I didn't give you the window for this because I probably shouldn't even be showing it.
Mega.
Oh, hey, wait. What's the Kirby? Did you do a Kirby Crackle at the top or something?
Yeah,
What is that?
that's from the electromagnetic warfare division, and they asked for that specifically.
Megfos, is that like a mofo? Except
That's
a
what
little
I was going
different?
to say.
Yeah, well, it's the military. They have all these fancy abbreviations for everything.
You're gonna have men in suits show up at your front door now that you've broken your militry contract.
That's right. They rang the
Yeah.
door before he showed it. 'Cause they
Yeah,
knew he
right.
was
We're
going to.
about to Meg-fo you up.
Wait a minute. What's on the other
they
side?
went to David's house and
By mistake. Yeah.
What's over your other shoulder?
And then this is it's a double page spread.
Holy
Oh,
smokes.
she-
That thing is huge. Just go in close.
Wow. Whoa.
So that
hey,
she-
Pull up the
Hey,
screen.
you got to show it.
No, it's on the screen.
is that Humberto Ramos?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is the Humberto one that Billy had you ink.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This for Tucci's She Omnibus, which is campaign is going now. Any of you knowledgeable chat people could put up that link. I'd appreciate it. Marcus. So this is a double page, and he didn't have a good scan of the original inks. This was colored, and so I blue lined it. Let's hold on a
zoom in.
second.
I've never seen Humberto Ramos inked by a guy like you. I mean, he's mostly got quill guys on him.
It adds such
Yeah,
a
hold on
nice
a second. I
softness
gotta
to it.
move some stuff around here. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting take because I've never inked them, and I'm a brush guy, so the lines are a bit softer. But I wanted to really. He has a lot of detail and textures, and I wanted to play that kind of stuff up. Really kind of squirrely proportions. I mean, check out this dude here. The top of his head is cut off. I mean, where's his the space between his nose and his chin, and then from his nose to the top of his head.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Mark Farmer inking Joe Mad, like back in the day. On like
that's kind of what I was going for. That but there's a lot of cool details that he had in here. Stuff on the sword and all this
crazy like glare on the
crazy stuff. So there's a lot to look at on this piece.
Yeah, fun.
So
that's great.
Like I say, it'll be in Billy Tucci's Omnibus.
Did Humberto draw it as a double page spread, or did you do that just to get clarity, like super clarity on it?
I actually, Billy told me it was double page, but it was vertical rather than horizontal.
Oh, yeah. So he drew it probably on one page.
Yeah, he might have.
But doesn't Billy have things where he opens up the book like you're opening up like a Playboy centerfold and you look at it?
Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't know what Billy's getting at there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
beautiful
for a couple of days. And thanks, Marcus, for putting that up. And this also, by the way, this piece is available.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
All right. Well, I got a couple of things here real quick. This is Kit Carter. This is episode number
Hey.
9, I believe. So you've got Merv the Astro Chimp. You've got Kit looks like she's being held captive by Zing the Zealous. And what's Merv going to do? Looks like he's grabbing a beer out of the fridge when he should be helping her. So that's spoiler.
And I see, Aaron, hold on a second. Put that back up. Can we see a close-up of the
Fish guy or whatever?
Yelling.
Which one?
Yeah.
That's a monkey.
Yeah, what is the guy in the top right there?
Yeah, that's very cool.
That's a monkey spazzing out, realizing that he forgot to set his alarm and he was supposed to.
That's what I look like when I realized I missed Storage Wars.
Now, what'd you say? You said this was episode what now?
9.
9. So these are like, is it a whole book of episodic little short stories, or
well,
like
it's going to be cool. Originally, it was conceived as like a newspaper strip, so that but I did it in comic books. Instead of doing it like this as a comic strip, I did it like this so I could at some point publish it.
Yeah,
and so each one is like its own Sunday strip, but it's a continued adventure. But there's like a little bit of a gag at the end of each one, you know, and then it would be like in a newspaper strip. When I do the graphic novel, it's going to be straight narrative like any normal comic book. But these first 15 that you get as a backup in Wraith of God Blood Hunters are going to be the first 15 like comic strip episodes. So each single one is like a serialized episode.
you should do like a put it out daily, or get far ahead and then do like a daily strip. Yeah, you could draw that fast, right? You're a fast.
I'll get right on that. I'll have it out daily, pencil inks and colored.
How about weekly? Just put it out online on your website.
I was
every
originally
week.
going to do that, but I couldn't keep up. I couldn't do it. So I had something else. Oh yeah, this.
Look at those shorts.
I think we did this like
Socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got this. Remember, we were working on these, I think, 2 weeks ago when you Barbarians got chosen, right? And it was we thought robots would win for sure because we thought everybody would stick it to me, but they didn't. And so I got this far in the painting of it, but I haven't finished it yet. 'Cause of course, I was gone all last week at San Diego.
That's great. Yeah.
What
are you using? Watercolor or like?
That's just straight watercolors.
That's so good.
And now check this out. I bought this at Walmart, or pardon me, no, Hobby Lobby, because David's like, go to Hobby Lobby. So I went.
Did you print out the coupon?
Well, it's like $6.50.
There you go.
So anyway, so I said, if Kelsey can use crappy paints, so can I. There it is. Look at that.
And that's what you colored that with?
No, this is what I'm going to color Man Thing with, or whatever I do.
Threatening to color something with it.
No, I did something. I can't remember what it was though.
Aaron, I'm sorry to tell you, I lied. I spend a lot of money on art supplies. Actually, it was all a scam.
Yeah. Color those up, Aaron.
Good luck.
I'm so gullible. I just fall for it every time. All right, so let's address this whole Gil Kane situation. What exactly are there any parameters to this, or what are we doing here?
I don't think there are. I think
I'm doing Green Lantern.
Yeah, David's already chosen. He's doing Green Lantern. Well, that's the thing we were talking about. He's only got 3 characters he created, but he did do a lot of costume designs, so that should count,
right?
Or is it just anything Gil Kane has ever worked on, which means we have basically every character ever available to us, right? Because he's worked on a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, he had an extended run on John Carter of Mars, Warlord of Mars for Marvel.
Carter, yeah. Remember, he did that Wagner Ring Cycle miniseries?
Oh, I don't think I've seen that. I saw, what's his name? P. Craig Russell did that too.
Yeah.
Didn't he design Captain Marvel?
Yeah, he designed the good Captain Marvel, with the red and blue costume. That was his design.
I thought that was Buscema.
No.
Oh, okay. I like that design. Maybe I'll do her.
It's cool. There you go.
him.
Do that. He did a multitude of Man Thing covers. So I'm just saying.
What are you saying, Aaron?
I'm saying I'm leaning towards a big man thing. That's what I'm saying, Gary.
We all knew it.
We know that. Yeah, you're always leaning toward a big man.
No surprise there.
Aaron, do Adam Warlock with his shirt off.
Oh God! Should I repeat that? I don't know. What if he's watching? I don't want to embarrass the guy.
No, don't.
Okay, I won't.
Joseph's saying my mic's a little loud. Is this better? I'm just loud.
No, keep turning it down. Keep going.
Okay, here. How about this? This sounds a little better right now. All right, is this better
keep
now?
Going.
Oh, keep going.
Keep going.
He's across the room.
All right, here we try this.
There, perfect.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, this is the best it's ever sounded. Oh, I want to show you guys one more thing that I picked up at San Diego.
Yeah, he's going to show us one more thing.
No. I don't want to do it while we're drawing because that's what Kelsey wants.
We'll be done with the show about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't be mocking me.
Wait,
we will, you nerd.
That's
so what, you printed that cover off the internet and put it in that plastic?
Yeah,
exactly. Haunt of Fear number 14, The Origin of the Old Witch, 1952.
Is that Ingalls?
Yep.
Wow.
How Wrightsony is that? That is
I know.
Very awesome.
When you look at Ingalls stuff, you can see where Wrightson got a lot of his influence from.
I always wondered
that
about
guy, that creepy guy in the foreground.
Yeah.
Oh, this little demon guy.
Yeah.
It's like on the pitchfork or whatever. I know. It's like, what is
Let's
that?
not sleep on that color. That's another. The color is great.
Yeah.
Well, Marie Severin did a lot of the coloring for these ECs back in the day.
Wow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was the main colorist, I think.
Yeah,
Wow,
she's
that's
really,
so good.
really good. Yeah. So anyway, pick that up.
I thought it was one of those war. What were those war books that I'm forgetting everybody's name. The Mad Magazine guy. Kurtzman. Yeah, he did those war comics. I'm like obsessed with those.
I know.
Yeah,
those are really cool.
And
yeah, Combat. Those are so good.
War comics are just completely underrated these days, and nobody's publishing war comics anymore.
No. And I could read. Well, it's like now it's there's no clear bad guys and nobody knows what's going on. So it's really hard to root for one or another to make a comic where you're punching one side or the other. So it's not clear right now.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was a lot easier. Nazis, bad, punch,
Right. Yeah.
Viet Cong, bad, punch, I guess. I don't know. That's those Kurtzman era.
Henry Bemis says, what grade is that? It's a 6 or a 6.5, somewhere in that neighborhood. We played it safe and said it's a fine condition. It could be a fine plus, though, but that's...
David, put that alarm flashing light back on as the nerd alert.
Now look at it. We got some suggestions here. Adam Warlock, not the Starlin version, but when Adam Warlock first got his own series, it was Gil Kane.
Yeah. Okay.
Who designed that. Tarzan newspaper strip is a possibility. Starhawks, of course, they're saying that. I'm not sure that Lopez knows what Starhawks is.
He's a little young. Yeah.
Oh, it's like Silverhawks, right? Sword of the Atom. I remember that one where he was kind of like in a jungle and he was kind of a barbarian, but he was still the Atom. I don't know. He fought.
I think you should do that because it's unfair that you're going to do.
Why is it unfair that I would do Man Thing?
Man Thing, whatever.
Because you're like Mr. Man Thing.
That's just like me doing Batman.
I have not.
You guys.
Hey, I have not drawn my Man Thing on this show yet. So,
yeah, that would be a small drawing.
Thank God.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tigra and Iron Fist. That's true. He was the first guy to draw Iron Fist. Kelsey needs to draw Tigra, Henry Bemis says.
Tigra. Okay. Let me look her up. Tigra. I know Tigra from David Williams' run on Tigra.
It was Jaguar.
Oh, my bad. I knew it was one of those. I'm glad you admitted to that.
David's going to pull the show over and give you all a ticket, says Space Monkey.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one. All right. I'll do Tigra.
All right. I'm still doing Man Thing.
She's like a Thundercat.
Yeah, Aaron, you're like on the fence. Sure. We believe that.
Marcus Kilger
You
says
made up
Rin
your
Tin
mind
Tin.
before the show started.
You're darn right I did. No, I was actually thinking about doing Black Mark, but it's so much like John Carter that it's like,
Yeah. That's true.
So, and I've already done John Carter. Okay, gentlemen, we're on the clock. Let's get rolling.
Oh, crap.
I'm half done. I actually started the drawing last night.
Yeah, of course. Well, now break out the San Diego photos. Tell us about your trip.
All we have to do is ask him what he bought.
Yeah, there you go.
And he has to get up and show it.
I showed you already.
TC has a good suggestion. Kid Colt.
Oh, a little Western action.
Yeah.
No, I spend too much time doing Westerns, man.
Covers. Yeah.
I know one of the places I'm going to go when I go to a convention is the dollar box. Can't wait to get it. Do they still have quarter boxes? I've rounded up to,
No, they're up to $1. Some of them now $5 boxes, So
good grief.
Times have changed. Now wait, Gary, you could rule on this. Someone's saying Captain Action, but is that Kane or is that Wally Wood? Because Kane did
Wood inked it.
Oh, he inked Kane,
Gil
didn't
Kane and Wood inked it.
Yeah, that's right. So that could work either way then.
Yeah.
Art of Royce says
nobody's mentioned Conan, even though you guys have done Conan, but Gil Kane did a ton of Conan.
Yeah, well, Gil Kane did a ton of everything, man.
Yeah.
Now
so I guess it's just.
Now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking, I probably should do Man Thing.
I thought about it.
Yeah. After a good long think on it, I'm pretty convinced that Man Thing might be the way to go.
Oh my God! There's a Sasquatch arm, and it's just Aaron.
Oh my gosh! Jeez, Gary, you're supposed to be. Gary's supposed to be my friend, but no, he's not.
Gary got a cannonball.
I got a
cannonball to the gut.
Oh, Skull Masher also. Morbius, the Living Vampire. Kane was the first to draw him.
Yes.
Oh, no kidding. It's Morbin time. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to switch cameras here. I don't feel I've been productive as I should have been the last couple episodes. I need to really come through today.
I agree. Yeah. And by the way, that was perfect timing. We planned that to a T. We knew you were going to be out of town. It was all Andy's making. So he knew you were going to be out. Well, when I went on his show last week.
You sent me that message and I was like, really, Kelsey? You booked over the show again?
Well, Andy only does. It's Andy's fault. He only does one time whenever you're streaming. He's just aiming to stream right over you. That's his whole plan, and I had to go with it. I mean, that's his thing.
How dare you, Andy?
Well, no, I was thinking he's like, oh, we're gonna do it at 5. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just finish up the show and go straight over there, and then I forget he's on East Coast time, right? So,
well, so are you.
No, I'm in the middle of the United States. I'm in the normal time, Louisiana time.
Aaron,
are you on Midwest, really?
Yeah, I'm right in the middle. Louisiana, you ever heard of it?
Yeah. It has the second largest alligator the first largest alligator population in the United States.
Good, yeah.
Even more
than Florida.
Aaron, Dave.
Yes.
The Petro, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Aaron, draw your Man Thing life size, but you can fit it on a Post-it note.
Zing!
We need a sound effect, a drum roll or something.
Oh, and he put it in twice. He didn't just put it in once. He put it in twice, back to back.
Somebody reads it.
Yeah, the super chat's coming right up. He's definitely making sure you're going to see it.
He's I'll read this, bitch.
Oh my gosh. That's why I never get anything done on this show. You know, it's just like there's too many distractions. I'm just having to do it by myself from now on. That way, I'll win every week.
Yeah.
Here he is.
So you'd be playing with yourself.
Oh,
God is trying to
Playing with
start-
your man thing every day.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Lucky that is God is trying to start a new nickname for Aaron. That's Post-it Note Lopez.
All right. I'm getting pissed. I'm going to say
He doesn't have enough cannonballs for all you.
that's right. I can't blow up. the
Ryan
chat
Norton
fast
says
enough.
Post-it Note was generous compared to a stamp.
All because I want to draw my man thing. It's just what the heck, man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, all right, I'm breaking out the poster board.
That's right.
Then I'm gonna have to do a mural. Who's got a wall for me to draw?
I got these huge 30 by 40 watercolor paper sheets. I'm going to use that and just. Oh boy. Well, let me deflect and change the topic if I can for a second. I talked to a very well established pro who will remain nameless because I don't know that he wants,
Can we
me
guess?
Simonson.
No.
Oh.
No. Stop guessing. And we were talking about, what was going on at specifically DC, but kind of felt the same sort of vibe was headed over at Marvel. And he's convinced that by what he's hearing and what he's seeing from, the inside a little bit, that it's not going to be long before DC just farms everything out to somebody else to produce.
Yeah.
Which
Saw
I
that
thought
coming.
was interesting. Yeah, I think we all sort of were speculating whether or not that was going to happen, but it seems to be what this gentleman seems to think is going to happen, and I trust his inside knowledge. So,
I mean, I've been thinking for a while, based on a video I saw about the lifespan of IP. Just any IP from corporate IP. Where it goes through a time of incubating and like growing, and then it gets to be a hit. You make a lot of money off of it. Then inevitably it goes down, and then it goes into kind of a phase where you're just maintaining IP. So we're going to see like Superman underoos and backpacks, and that's about it. A pewter chess set, or whatever of the Avengers, just to keep the IP going until interest returns. So and we haven't gotten to that point yet. I keep expecting it to hit, but it's coming, No,
I think you're right, and because you see, like McFarlane sort of got involved there with DC and doing some toy stuff. And didn't he produce a book or something for him as well?
Yeah, a book that came with the toy, I think.
Yeah. So you start to think.
No. He not the Batman Spawn. They literally gave him like whatever characters, random characters that he wanted to do as toys, or maybe they had a deal where you got to do these many or whatever. But he was basically producing the toys for. Was it DC or Marvel? I forget.
Oh, yeah, but do you think he was using that as a means to say, "Hey, look, I could take care of your brand"?
Oh, I'm sure.
License them out to me to do the comics.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was a test bed for them as well to see how that would work.
Yeah.
Hold on, Kelsey. Angela Curry wants you to make Shank underoos.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Now, are Shank underoos? Are they going to have boobs on the cover with him too, or is it just
that's on the back? Maybe that's for the ladies. The panty version. So we got protect your shank with Shank underoos.
Yeah.
And, it's gonna have a big knife coming out the front. Thanks, Angela. Great idea. Yes.
Underoos are fun to wear.
David's got a theme song for it.
Perfect.
That's what it was.
David's working on the turnarounds right now for the market products. Yeah.
For adults only.
Yeah, you guys in the chat don't realize how much you influence us.
Oh yeah.
We listen to what you're saying, and
We don't like it, but we listen.
yeah,
I drank way more than I used to because of you people. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
very much influential.
Very influential, and we talk about your ideas. We discuss them, and you know,
And how we can steal them without having to pay for them. You know, all that kind of stuff. It's all. Oh my goodness. Well.
Hey, careful. Don't get all the secrets out.
Don't tell them everything.
No, I'm always, I mean, that's where I make no bones about it. I go to the brain trust, you know, like, what do you think of this? Does this work? How about, what do you think of this name? You know, and then they'll throw out other ideas. And I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Well, somebody came up with graybeards in this chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the engine room. It's the brain trust.
What a resource, you know, unless you're David Williams, when you're lying in bed late at night trying to think of creative superhero names, to have, you know, the chat saying, hey, is this name any good or not? That would be awesome if it was a 24/7 experience. Hey, chat, wake up. Is laser eyes any good?
It is. They're always awake. We're always there.
They're always, yeah, that's true. You could start streaming at any time of night, and you'd at least be guaranteed about 25 people would be awake, going, "Hey, what are you doing up at 3 a.m.?" You know,
they're all waiting for you.
About time you started streaming.
Hey, yeah. So your San Diego trip, like, did you have let's go through it step by step.
All right. Well,
step one, what did you buy?
Yeah.
Oh no, you're not going to get me in that again.
How much junk did you bring with you? Did you have to like load your car and all that stuff and then go through the loading docks and all that stuff like usual at San Diego, or?
No, I just shipped everything down to the hotel and
that's the way to do it. Yeah.
Now you might know this fine young lady, Kelsey, that I met for the first time and got a picture with.
Well, she's so tall, or you're so short. What is how tall are you?
6'2" and a quarter, if you want to.
No, because she's only like 3 foot tall. So,
well, dude, I'm leaning over. She's still, when I'm standing up straight, she doesn't even come up to my shoulder.
That's true. Her shoes are at least 2 feet tall, so that's probably making up.
Well, no, I bent my knee and I'm leaning in so that she didn't seem so tiny.
She's already done this costume before. I need to get my book out so she can cosplay as Mighty and Shank. Nice ginger. She loves gingers. So, yeah.
Well, you know, someone came up to me and they swore up and down that they saw somebody dressed up as Esther from Wraith of God.
Oh,
but I was like, they never came by my booth, so I couldn't verify. But they said no, she had the blonde hair up in a bun kind of thing, like the 1880s look, and then she had this violet purplish dress that was high collared, and it looked exactly like the Wraith of God character. And I was like, but why did they come by my booth? I was like so jacked to see someone actually cosplay your character, but then I couldn't verify it, so we don't know for certain what was going on there.
That knock on my door earlier.
Yeah. It was the cops.
They're all caps. There you go.
Oh. Did you get your action figure? I still haven't got mine.
No. Hold on a second. Let's unbox this baby.
Whoa, wait a minute here. Art of Roy says David Finch monster painting. How do you know about that?
He was standing behind you the whole time.
I guess. Did I talk about this on stream someplace? I don't think I did. Art of Roy, were you there?
Check it out.
There you go. Got that hat.
Oh, you got the cat. Those are nice, man.
Real nice. Look at you.
I feel bad. My baseball caps are just black with an emblem on them. It's
You're
like
be
he
golfing
does this-
in style.
Yeah. Art of Roy says he has spies.
Who?
About the. Should I tell the David Finch story?
Yes, tell it.
Yeah.
What happened with David Finch?
Well, okay, so I get to meet Fraga for the first time in person, right? I've never met him in person,
Oh, cool.
and so he was coming by the booth quite a bit because he was out buying artwork, and then he'd come by and go, check this out, you know. And he was the most amazing thing I saw at the show was these Travis Charest cover layouts, but they were on business card sized pieces of paper. But they were like super detailed. And it's like, where did the dude find a pen that small? And they were like Captain America covers, and they were literally the size of business cards. And Albert Moy had them, several of them for like $200 a piece. And so, you know, Braga got one.
And he came back bragging about it, like, look what I got.
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah, he's like, dude, check this out. You got to come see these. So he drags me over to the booth. We're looking through the thing, and Finch walks by, and Fraga, of course, knows everybody. He's like Tucci. He absolutely knows everybody. And he says, he calls Finch over and says, hey, man, check out these Travis, you know, little card things. And so, and Finch kind of nods at me because I don't think he recognized me. And because I don't think I've seen him in like 10 years. And so after a few minutes, Dan goes, oh, hey, do you know Aaron Lopresti? And David's like, oh, yeah, hey, Aaron, you know. And so we're sitting there chatting, and then David goes, I owe you a sketch still. And the story is that we were going to trade sketches in Seattle like 10 years ago. And I did one for him. This is really the Reader's Digest version. And he never got around to doing the one for me. And
so he still feels guilty about it.
Hey, at least he remembers. That's nice.
Right.
Yeah. And so, he said he goes, yeah, I still owe you a sketch. And I'm like, you know, whatever, you know, it was a while ago. And
plus interest, you know, where's you got only like 3 of them now. That's what you said,
exactly.
like, hard with him.
Well,
Yeah.
this is how it plays out though. So Fraga goes kind of looking at us like, what's going on here? And so I explained the story to him, you know, and then I put my hand on Finch's shoulder and I said, all I wanted was a clay face, you know, and we all kind of went, ha, 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 like that. And then Finch goes, you know, I got a clay face back at my booth. And so I'm like, oh, and he goes, yeah, come on. And so me and Fraga are like looking at each other going, what are we going to see? So we walk over to his booth. He goes and pulls off this painting, acrylic painting of Clayface, and
You gotta
hands
tell
it
him
to
where
me.
it is.
What?
What do you mean where it is?
What? It's not exactly at his table. It's
No. He's at like this big booth.
Like Albert Moy is what you said, right? Like,
okay.
Well, no, it was around the corner from Moy, but
Oh.
Finch. He was just walking by Moy's booth, and we grabbed him.
Okay.
But he had his own booth. Well, not his own booth, but there was like these. I guess they were artist reps or something. So they had like this booth, you know, well, super nice booth, you know, and they had a couple of podiums up there, and they would have different artists would come in during the course of the day, and they would, you know, sign whatever, and then they'd have their original art up there for sale behind them. So it was a nice booth. And so he goes in there, and he says, he grabs this painting and hands it to me. And I'm like, what is this? And he goes, well, I don't want you to have this. And I'm like, I can't accept this. I go, no. I said, no. And he's like, no, I want you to have it. And I'm like, I just kept trying to give it back to him going, are you sure? Are you sure about this? You know? So he goes, I just got to go back and tell these guys that, you know, I took it off the wall so they won't think it got stolen or something. So he goes back there and he signs some more books. He's there for a while. And I'm just standing there looking at this thing being dumbfounded. And he comes back and I said, I kept trying to give it back to him, saying, I can't accept this. This is too much. This isn't a fair trade, and blah blah blah. And he goes, Aaron, that amethyst piece. I did an amethyst piece for him because that was the book I was working on at the time, and that's actually what he asked for. And he says, I got that hanging up on my wall, and I've been walking by it every day for 10 years. And
thinking about the injustice he did to you.
Exactly. Every time he looked at it.
So I guess he felt, guilty about it. So he insisted that I take this thing, and I did. I gave him a big hug, and I wept. And I
wept in his arms. You did?
I did. I almost collapsed in his arms. And I told him, I said, your black placement, you spot blacks better than anybody since Bernie Wrightson, and I've been a huge fan for you.
Next to Malin. Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron, let's see it.
I'm going to show you. When I should be drawing, I was going to do a reveal video of this, but so here we go. You guys are getting this.
Show us the photo of you weeping in his arms.
Yeah. Oh my goodness,
man!
Wow.
Sheesh.
Are you kidding me? Is that incredible?
Wow.
That's acrylic.
Faces in there.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that guy's good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Show the other faces.
Yeah, I had this sitting around. Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah.
Pulls it off of somebody else's wall. Yeah, this will do. Get that.
Very Wrightson-y, those faces hidden in there,
That's awesome.
Damn.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is going to get framed and go up on the wall.
I bet
that's the result of Aaron Lopresti interest.
No, that's the result of Aaron Lopresti's slow negging over the course of 20 years, right? Like,
no, I never brought it up.
Okay.
Brought it up
buying a war bond and letting it mature.
And, I'm kind of in the same position with some commissions, so
got to keep up in the game. Yeah,
that's right. I said, look, I'm sculpting it now.
Yeah. I'm chiseling it out of marble at this point.
Out of marble. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
It's going to be life size when I get it done. So anyway, yeah. So now I have
a life-size Wolverine in that block of granite.
Yeah.
I got a Bisley original. I've got a Keown original. And now I have a Finch original. How about that?
Wow.
Now, if we didn't have more reasons to hate you.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good show, all in all.
Yeah. Did you sell anything? Were you selling like original art or any of that stuff?
Like crazy. I sold more original art than I ever have in my life. I was the best show I've ever had in the 25 years I've had a booth at San Diego. Is the best show I've ever had by a mile.
Now, so the thing I was thinking everybody's mind, but it's definitely on my mind. So I don't know if everybody else is thinking about it, but the whole movie star situation, did that actually make it better for comic people?
Yes.
Right.
We want them gone. And it was weird because I said this to somebody like on the second day there. I said, this show has a different vibe to it this year. It really kind of was a feel-good experience, if you will. And somebody else came up to me 2 days later, and we were talking about the show and how it was going, and they said the exact same thing. I go, yeah, it has a different vibe this year. And the only thing we could point to is the fact that the Hollywood people weren't there wrecking it for everybody.
Yeah, maybe that's a good sign of things to come. I mean, the Tampa, I guess all those people aren't union, I guess, because there's a bunch of actors and voice actors and like some hobbits and
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dominic Monaghan is going to be there. He's in movies, and I forget the other hobbits. I don't know.
I think it's just kind of like, if you're in California, you sort of like got to respect their picket lines, but as soon as you leave the state, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it being, because they have the union stuff nationwide. I mean, there used to be
but it's not as visible in some show in Tampa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
It would be in Comic-Con, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, that's great to hear. I mean, I missed there's some video online of San Diego's from time past of like Frank Thorne in like a wizard outfit reciting some storyline, and you got Wendy Pini dressed as or actually it was a bunch of them. It was Wendy Pini and a bunch of different Red Sonjas. It was like a few of them.
She was the best though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and those were like the 80s, like 87, 85, something like that.
It's earlier than that, man.
Yeah, earlier.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
that time?
70s.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't think they had video cameras back then. So. Well, I mean, yeah, you got your 8mm film of San Diego Comic. When did you start going?
First year was 87.
What about you guys? What about David and Gary? What was... Wow.
Yeah,
Gary, you ever been?
86, 87 when I first started going as a professional. I did not attend as a fan. And I went for probably about 15 years in a row because I didn't want to lose my spot.
Wow.
And then have not been back since.
I've been 2 times, but they were in the probably the 2000s, right before the Hollywood was already getting a foothold, but it still wasn't all about that, So I still was a lot of comic book people, and got to meet a lot of contemporary people. I wish I was more where I'm at now when I was going to conventions, because I remember seeing so many people. The guy that created Green Lantern, he and his wife were hitting all those shows for a long time.
Marty Nodell.
Yeah, and now I can just kick myself for never ever just walking up and talking to the guy. There's a lot of situations like that.
I had breakfast with him several times. In fact, I was running into him and who did Hawkman? Doggone it.
You mean originally
Cooper?
or like shaken? Oh,
Cooper?
Yeah.
No, the 40s.
Oh.
Martin, Nodell did Green Lantern. It was his buddy. I've got an original from him. I can't think. Why can't I think of his name? But they were like, I don't know, man. When I met those guys in the probably late 80s, early 90s doing the shows, they were in their 80s, I'm sure. And Marty Nodell and his wife they were at every show. And the Hawkman guy, come on, you guys, help me out in the chat.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nobody.
You don't know the Hawkman guy? If I said his name,
a Hawkman guy.
Dobie Dickles.
He didn't. Dobie Gillis. No. Dobie Dickles. Are you kidding?
Well, that's what they're saying in chat. Who said that?
Dennis Neville. No. You guys are making me go to my flat files and dig that piece out?
Yes, we are.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Murphy Anderson?
No, not Murph.
No.
Gardner Fox and Dennis Neville created Hawkman. Dad's Den says.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't Fox. It was somebody who worked on it, drew him for years, but he wasn't the creator.
Very famous.
I'm like obsessed with
you dated his daughter.
Kubert's run, man. It's just so good. I look at that every now and then, and like it seems so advanced.
Yeah,
like his framing and everything looks like cinematic stuff long before that was ever a thing really in comics. He was pulling the kind of cinematic look into his stuff.
All right. I got it. I'm going to get it. Hang on a second. It's not Arthur Adams.
I didn't. Yeah, before. Yeah, that guy is old.
Yeah, you stumped Aaron.
Yeah,
you stumped the chat.
That's
wow.
Unbelievable. Marcus Killigrew should know this. I am like really disappointed in him that he has not come up with this name for me. Sheldon Moldoff. Shelley Moldoff.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
So
we all knew, Aaron. We wanted you to go look.
Yeah.
We were rooting for you.
No.
Yeah, you could do it. He's got it.
You can do it.
Come on, Aaron. Come on.
But yeah, I had breakfast with them like multiple times at different shows, and they would call me over and I'd go.
And you still couldn't remember his name.
Now I was younger then. I could remember. So, but yeah, that's cool.
I got to meet. Let me see. Who was it? Walt Simonson.
I am.
Yeah, I am. I met Walt Simonson a little bit. He came up to talk to Cully Hamner while we were sitting in a hotel lobby, and I'm just petrified. I'm like, what am I going to talk to him about? I don't know. I just smiled.
What can you say to someone like that?
But he was so nice, such a generous guy.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. So, but
I stayed at his house twice. So there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that backs up the generosity thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to be pretty generous to have Aaron in your house.
Yeah, Aaron, so not charge me.
Aaron, did he know you were staying at his house?
Yeah. He was standing behind the door. Yeah, just quietly observing.
Well, it's kind of a long story how I ended up there, but
as if any of your stories were short. Come on.
Right?
So yeah, anybody kind of shocking that you met, like somebody you didn't expect to meet at the show this year? Because it seemed like it's pretty. It seems like it's fairly intimate. You're getting to meet people. Was there a lot of people like usual, or was it?
No, it was busy, like it normally is. I didn't hang. Most people they just sort of coagulate in the middle of the con where all the the movie and TV stuff is.
Oh yeah.
And then we're on the ends, right? So it's not as bad around the ends. But I never went through the middle because anytime the comics are all the way down on one end and the artists are at the other end. And so I would just go out in the lobby and race down to the other end and cut in. I would never walk through when the con was open. I walked around before the show started. But yeah, I didn't think the attendance was anything different about the attendance. It was just, I don't know. It would just.
Well, that's it. The San Diego guy, I remember seeing a news report about this, and he's like, some of those people bought their tickets long before they knew Hollywood wasn't going to be there, so they're kind of stuck.
Yeah. So they were on the floor, looking around and probably buying stuff that maybe they wouldn't normally have done if they'd been camped out for 2 days to get into Hall H, see a trailer that's going to be online 10 minutes after they view it on the Hall H.
They're like Marvel trailers. Oh well, Aaron Lopresti's here.
I guess we'll go by his booth.
See what Aaron's doing. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's kind of what I was hoping for, that it would be a little bit of a return to older, more comic book focused.
Should be.
Yeah.
But Hollywood's probably going to come back next year and it'll all be the same stuff. So
yeah, it's not going to change.
I guess. I mean, it's already changing to where, people aren't going to the movies as much as they used to anyway. I mean, at what point is that worth it to them? They're only doing it because of hype and sales, and nobody's watching any comic book movies anymore. Everything is divisive. Everything is weird. So at some point they're going to pull out.
Well, that's the thing I'm kind of hoping for. I'm sure San Diego isn't hoping for, but I'm thinking, is this kind of their test market and say, do we really need to do this every year? Do we really need to, pour all this money and stuff into something that doesn't really help us?
Kind of always expected it to be a limited thing. It's lasted a lot longer than I ever thought it would, honestly.
That's true.
The movies got bigger than I ever thought they would too. So
yeah. But that's an interesting thing. Is it, is this kind of a one-off, or are they going to look at it next year and go, man, we saved a lot of money by not going. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, you could just put the trailer on YouTube. It's fine. They don't even need Super Bowl money.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to go see that stuff anymore. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe there'll be another heyday. I'm so not interested anymore. It's always weird when I hear everybody talking about movies. I'm like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just so totally out of touch on the Hollywood scene anymore that I used to be so into it, and I'm just not. Although I have to admit, I am kind of looking forward to the last voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Oh, yeah.
Vampire flick.
Yeah, what I'm waiting for is the second installment of Dune.
Oh, that I am looking forward to that. Yeah.
Really? I never
Yeah.
watched the first one. I
It's
started
an
covered from David
excellent movie.
Lynch's.
Oh, I
No,
like
no,
David
no, no,
Lynch's, but this is even better. This is
so much
way
better.
better. Way better.
Way better. It's an awesome film.
It gets a lot of the nuanced stuff a lot better. And like there's this whole thing which I think is really well done where he could see many different outcomes, and it's like you're kind of confused where you're like, how is he dreaming about one thing and then a completely other opposite outcome happens? It's like he only got possible outcomes, but it's just really fascinating to see how they kind of like delve into that. Whereas the Lynch one, you kind of get everybody's thought process, like out in the open. And
Right. It's one of those films that when it's over, even though it's really long, what is it, like almost 3 hours?
Doesn't
When
seem
it's
like
over, you're disappointed.
Yeah.
Instead of being happy.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they didn't get to the
gotta
real
see
meat of
more.
it.
Yeah, you're sad that it's over, and you're going to have to wait for the next sequel.
Past Master Dan says, I'm Comic Skate and waiting for the rapture. So there you go. Let's see.
What was
here.
that in reference to?
I don't know. These guys are talking about stuff.
Oh, okay.
Too much Zendaya, says Jetto Jaga.
Oh, I agree with that, but she's the girl from Spider-Man playing Mary Jane now.
She's hardly in it. What are you talking about?
She seems well. She's going to be a lot in the new one.
Please don't get David started.
Is he a Zendaya fan? Is he like Zendaya?
No, Spider-Man movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, just Zendaya. I mean, like I think she's interesting. She does have a neat look, but just boring. There's like not a lot of personality there. So
I'm going back a little bit here, but Eric Boyd says Aaron Lopresti name dropping and one upping everyone. Colt the Raven
I purposely didn't read that, Aaron.
Colt the Raven Lewis Brightraven says, sorry, I remember Shelley for being one of Bob Kane's ghost artists on Batman. I assume he's talking about Shelley Moldoff, not Shelley Lopresti. He's talking about my wife there. I didn't know.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
she had a hidden career.
Put her to work. Jeez.
Yeah,
exactly. She's been hiding all this from me all these years because she didn't want to do the extra work. It's like, hey, I'm in a deadline crunch. Well, I wish I could help, but I can't ink.
I just always assumed she was just humoring you. I didn't know she actually liked this stuff.
Yeah, well, I have to pay her to come on the show. Oh, jeez, that's not true. She enjoys the whole process.
So I remember back in the day going to conventions, like the first time it was huge in Dallas. Dallas had like conventions like literally every weekend. There was like a little convention at a hotel, and it was great. You just, I'd have my mom drop me off, and I'd just stay there all day. I'd see anime was just starting to like come in big. I'm like, what is this? Everything was new and fresh. You'd see comics, people drawing stuff. It was just such a hotbed of like fandom on the rise back in those days in the early 90s.
Well, that's true. It sort of died out. The last like great fandom rush was like in the 90s with Image and stuff.
Yeah.
Because in the 70s, it was much smaller, but you had the Buyer's Guide, weekly newspaper, and everybody was doing fanzines. And there was a lot of
and you had big name artists going to conventions. First convention I went to in San Jose, where I grew up, I got to see Jack Kirby draw the Thing on this 24 by 36 pad with a marker.
Oh, nice.
And he was just, he would start with the eye and just kind of, and it's like, how is he doing this?
It's really amazing how
erasing, it was with a marker, and it was perfect.
There's like a type of artist that could do that. I think Ethan is one of them. I think he draws like a couple lines and then he'll just start inking real methodically. I mean, Kirby's even more extraordinary in that, he just starts and wherever it goes, it goes. You just got to wonder.
With a finger, and then he'll end up on in the neck.
How much of that is he seeing in his head, and how much is just we'll see where it goes?
Yeah.
He said he was tracing what he saw in his head.
Yeah, well, that's how
See?
it worked. Is that and that's
Tracer.
how he was able to start like with one panel on a page and just draw everything without doing layouts. And
See, I
This is
can't
Kirby?
see it until I see it. Like when I see
Yeah.
it, I'm like, okay, all of that's wrong, and then I start refining
that's like a normal human being.
it. Yeah.
Hey, do any of you guys remember the first time you were asked to sit behind the table instead of being on the fan side?
Oh yeah, I remember the convention too. Michael Ringo actually saw my stuff in Chicago, and he's like, "Man, you should really be sitting down. Here, sit down." And he said, "Let me sit down." And then suddenly people were wanting to buy artwork, and it was like,
Wow.
"What's happening? This is weird."
You're all the power.
I think I like this.
Yeah, exactly. What are these feelings I'm having?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you guys?
That was San Diego. Well, no, I did it at Portland first. The Portland shows where I kind of would, you got something published, and then you're like, "Give me a table." I did this backup Spider-Man story, and blah blah blah. It was a charge though. It's like you kind of felt like even though you hadn't made it, you kind of felt like you had made it.
Yeah.
You realize years later that you really hadn't, but it's kind of like I wasn't even anywhere near close to having made it at that point. But you just kind of like it was just suddenly I'm on the other side of the table, right? People are buying my sketches and stuff, and you're like,
Aaron,
wow.
I just realized that's not Man-Thing.
Well,
What? How dare you?
You had a man thing.
Don't anymore.
That's right. You got woke.
Okay, why did you abandon this
I
Man-Thing?
started thinking about Captain Marvel, and I do like Captain Marvel, and I was thinking, Gil Kane designed that. He put more into Captain Marvel than he did Man-Thing, so maybe I should do Captain Marvel. But then now I'm thinking, I got so much work into this Man-Thing, I probably should go back to Man-Thing. So there's Captain Marvel on the back of this, and Man-Thing on the front of it.
Aaron, nobody cares how much Gil Kane is in this character.
Hey, this is your fault, Gary.
I know, but I just say
You wanted Wally Wood.
My point is, draw what you want to draw. You're not going to be disqualified.
That's true. I make the
your
rules.
show.
That's right, Doug. No, I share it equally with me, myself, and I. Oh, I can't help it, man. I've become like I've become completely insecure about this show now. It's like I'm always second guessing everything I'm doing.
So Kelsey, ask Aaron why he's drawing Man-Thing. He should be drawing Captain Marvel.
See, don't mess with me, man. I'm fragile.
Wait a minute. Now you're back to drawing Man-Thing? You were drawing?
Yeah, I can't make up my mind.
Go back to do what you, oh my goodness.
No, how about do both? Maybe,
I
flip it over.
That's what I am doing.
Do her like.
I'm going to rub it in your face when I do 2 to your 1, buddy.
Oh, I'm already on my third one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
I'm on my second one. So.
I'll be
the
right
problem
back.
I'm having right now is I'm not sure where my stuff is. All my drawing stuff from San Diego. I got to find my Zig pen.
Aaron's wandering around his
I am
studio looking for art supplies. You're having a Biden moment.
I know I am. I was so into my little cheapo watercolor set I bought. I forgot about everything else.
You can't wait to use those.
Oh, I'm going to use them. You guys will be like floored. You'll say, what a master he is at his craft. He can use those crappy watercolors for $6.50 and make such a masterpiece. And Kelsey will go, yeah, I taught him everything I know.
So that's what was running through your mind as you were standing in line at the dollar store buying these.
That's exactly
show
what it
them
was.
on Graybeards.
No, it was like, if Kelsey can do it, I can do it. I walked up to the guy and I said, give me your cheapest watercolor set you have. And the worst brush you have in your store.
Here you go.
I got to teach somebody a lesson. Give me your cheapest stuff.
That's right. I'm going to show this guy. Oh, is Kelsey gone?
Yeah, he said he'll be right back.
Okay, so we're ripping on him. He's not even here.
Yeah, he'll see it.
Oh man, that's a waste of good material. Do I have to I'll rewind the tape and run it again when he gets back.
There you go.
Art of Roy says, Aaron, paint first, then ink the holding line after.
I know it's I don't know if it actually does. It's counterintuitive to me. Unless I'm going to do the outline with a colored pencil, which I used to do a lot when I was watercoloring.
That's a good strategy to do something you've never done before to beat David and Kelsey.
Never.
I've got that book I did with the creatures and everything and the watercolor. They were all watercolor paintings, but that's what I did is I watercolored them and then I outlined it with a colored pencil rather than an ink line, which was kind of a cool look. So I'm not doing that here because I've already put black ink on here, so I'm kind of committed. But so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. How much time do we have? We got 15 minutes and the show's over. So
that's it. What?
No, we got an hour.
Okay. About to say.
Thanks,
that took longer than this I thought.
For putting up the links to the campaigns.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of which, you'll find the links to the campaigns in the description of this video. Wraith of God Blood Hunters, Kelsey's Scribbles, Gary's sign up for Brush with Destiny, and of course David Williams Bass Reeves.
Never to be outdone. See, he did it already. Aaron's way ahead of you.
That's right. I actually have like the campaigns already pulled up. I could actually go to the screens and show the campaign. Should I do that?
Yes.
Instead of drawing you?
Yes, of course.
Yes, put your pen down.
All right. Only because I'm so confident that I will finish this, even with these attempted distractions. And you guys let's see here. Let's take a look at. So many buttons to push in so little time. There it is. Wraith of God Blood Hunters. Look at this, you guys. I'm at 145,979. I need one backer to get me at 146.
One backer.
And I've got 7 pages to go. You guys saw the layout for episode 9 of Kit Carter out of 15. So once those are done, the book is done. So you don't have much longer to wait. So get in there and back. Make me proud. All right. Let's see. That's about all I got for me. I'm not a good salesman.
That's all I got.
I'm a terrible salesman.
Sorry.
Kelsey's coloring one of the stories. So if you like Kelsey and you don't like me, you should still get it.
And if you don't like me,
we got Kelsey.
Look at that free trading card of Kit Carter and her gravity-defying bust.
Yeah.
See? And you get a Dan Lawless trading card for free just for ordering. Look at that.
Oh, see, you got Dan Lawless. If you don't like either of us, you got Dan. Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah, right.
And then if you don't like any of those guys, you got Adam Miller, who won the art contest. This really upset Mark Brooks, I'm sure. But he did get paid for his efforts, and he's going to be appearing as a splash page in the book. How about that?
That's cool. Fantastic.
Yeah. And you've got 4 cover options. There's the Bisley painted cover, which Malin doesn't like, but everybody else does, so who cares? And I actually own the original. It's hanging framed on my wall. It's very large, too, so it's cool. There's a wraparound cover I did there. Tales of Suspense tribute cover. Look at that. And this nightclub right here, Kelsey's coloring this story. So
did you color that piece right there?
I did.
Yeah, that's pretty much my main reference. I actually like the way you color a lot, and it suits you well. And I'm trying to kind of like keep it in that realm, but just make it better.
I really like a more simple approach to coloring. I don't like
I do too.
This overblown stuff. And
I think I've already gone way up overboard. And there's one sequence in it, and you probably know which one I'm thinking of, that I went straight, flat, old school comic book coloring, and I've tried to really emulate that, and I got to run it by you first. You may not like it at all, but
Is
there's
it the,
definitely one part.
Is it the flashback scene?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I thought that would be great if that could like have a whole other feel instead of it just being sepia tone or whatever.
Right.
I made it look like old school flat comic book coloring. See how that would look. So I'll be sending that to you shortly.
You know, here's the thing though. It's like when I color myself, I color the way I want to color it. If I hire someone else to color, I hire so they can color it. You know what I mean? I don't like to be like telling you, you know, because I would never color like Dan does. Like, look at these garbage man pages. I don't color like this at all, but that's how he colors. And I hired him to do the job, so I'm going to let him do his thing.
I love that page.
Much
yeah,
so,
yeah.
Unlike me, when I have to tell a colorist when they're sucking.
Yeah. Right, exactly. But you know, Kelsey's like an accomplished artiste, so I'm not going to sit here and tell him to color it the way I would color it, because then I should just color it myself at that point, right?
Well, there's a lot of times where I'll have things in my head where I'm like, if Aaron mentions this, I've already thought about it, you know, then it's got to change. There's like some things you do, like, okay, is this really that necessary? Can I let this go? Well, we'll give it a shot. We'll let it go. And then if you're like, well, what about this piece? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. See, you saw it too. All right.
Okay. Well, you haven't shown me much, so I'm gonna get blown away here. Now, if you look at this, Kelsey, this is the very first episode.
You're trying to distract me. Oh.
No. This is actually something we talked about earlier. So the way I did these Kit Carter strips was I would so you've got this fleshy intruders come out and face my wrath, and then they want to break for lunch and get pizza. And so he says, excuse me, we're going to break for lunch, back in 30 minutes. And Merv goes, 45 travel time. She goes, 45 minutes tops. And he's like, what? Wait, you can't just. And then he's like, then he starts counting 1001, 1002, because waiting for them to come back to finish the fight. And so that, you know, that's your little gag at the end of the strip. And then the next one picks up where this one left off, just like a continuity, but each page has its own little, you know, kind of gag to it. So that's how he did the first 15 episodes. And then when I do the graphic novel, it'll be just like a regular formatted thing. But anyway, there's all sorts of good stuff in here. There's Phil Diaz drinking space beer. And,
it does look like Phil. It's funny.
So anyway, there's tons of stuff there. You guys check that campaign. And if you haven't, the link is in the description of this video. So let's take a look at, as I continue to waste time when I should be drawing. Let's take a look at Kelsey's scribbles. Now, this was ending yesterday, right? But did you extend it, or how does that work exactly?
Oh, no, it ended today at 9 this morning while I was out of the house. So
you're like, weren't even aware of it. I love that.
Yeah.
Like, big closeout stream with Kelsey. No.
Yeah.
but
yeah, I knew I was going to make
right?
it. I don't know if they've switched it over yet. I think Luke is in the hospital right now. He got some con crud, and he was already dealing with COVID stuff from before. Yeah. So he's just better safe than sorry. So he's out there chilling, but he's still doing work. I'm like, my God, man, you're in the hospital. You shouldn't be talking to me. He's very dedicated. It's hard for him to turn it off.
This thing says, well, look at, there's the Angry Kelsey shirt. I got to get one of those.
Yeah, we're going to switch it to an online store for a bit until it's all fulfilled.
It says continuous campaign, no end date.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm going to be putting up original art because people are comfortable with this. They're already set up, and people have been asking me for more original art. So I'm just going to use this as an online store. You can buy more shirts, the book, until it completely sells out.
You sold your rabbit drawing.
Yeah, almost immediately.
But you didn't sell your Jennifer Connelly riding the pony, which
they're all sold. I don't know why that popped back up.
Oh, okay, maybe just to tease people.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They're
Kelsey's
all sold.
Babe original art. I love that title. You put a lot of thought into that. I think I'll call this Kelsey's original babe art. Yes.
It works.
And your horse is still there. Your favorite piece.
No, they're all sold.
Oh, they
I don't
are?
know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it's popped back up. That's interesting.
Savage Land Rogue. Okay.
Yeah, they're all gone.
I think I'm gonna get that shirt for Shelly. I'm fucking drinking.
Okay, yeah, totally. It's like let your family and friends know what you're doing this weekend with this shirt.
And then of course you have Star Wars girl Anna there in her little outfit around it. Yeah.
Yep, the premiere, that Star Wars girl artist right here. I'm going to be putting all those sketches in there. And now she's married. I'm putting all that away. And
that's right. You're done with her.
Going to be drawing Reenie as Star Wars girl.
There
from
you
now
go.
on.
That's right. Reenie's your new fixation.
I need a new muse. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys check out Kelsey's Scribbles layout and design works by Kelsey. That campaign is on Fund My Comic. The link is in the description of this fine video that you're watching right now. And then we got this guy named someone says refresh Aaron. Oh, refresh the page. Too late. I already canceled it.
Wow.
We'll just take for granted that somebody actually put some money on there. Okay. Whoa, look at that. I'm tripping out, man. What did I put on there?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not right.
How'd you do that?
I don't know, but man, I'm tripping. Look at that.
What is that you?
Yeah, I pushed the wrong button, and David's gonna have to turn his lights on because we're just like freaking tripping out, man. Wait a minute, where is it?
Oh, that was your back page. Oh yeah, that was you showed us your back room. We were looking at all your private messages just then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, there it is. Sign up for Brush with Destiny, the ink art of Gary Martin. Now, Gary, how big is this book getting? It's
Be careful.
Yeah,
Be careful.
I know.
I can't compete with Kelsey. It'll probably be between 100 and 125 pages.
Yeah, you don't want to compete because after going over costs and stuff like that, I'm just doing black and white, and it's monstrous. The weight of the shipping, the cost of the printing, everything.
Right.
You're doing full color. You're doing black and white, right?
It's all mine's all going to be black and white.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a few pieces that I still need to do, and then I have some published gigs I have to finish, and then once I do all that, then I'm gonna start the campaign.
All right, so there's the sign up. You guys run over there and sign up for Gary's Brush with Destiny book, which will be launching very soon. Now, David, do we have any sort of updates on Bass Reeves?
Not that I know of. I haven't checked in on it. I'm assuming that there's some kind of issue with the printing that's going on right now.
But you can still back, but it's essentially done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always something. I mean, the good news is I just heard that looming UPS strike that's been kind of looming over everybody. They settled that, so that's not actually happening.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's funny how they could settle things fast in
they want to.
but in other arenas they can't.
Yeah, just give everybody the money.
Is there a release date for Bass?
I don't know it.
Does it say anything about that in this campaign?
It says you'll get it when you get it.
Yeah.
Did David write that? That sounds like something he would say.
Yeah. Well, probably it's on there someplace, but I think it's like you got to go in the updates, or let's see, there's an update. All the inks are in. Yeah, okay, that was 5 months ago. Come on, you guys, update more recently than that. This isn't David's campaign, by the way. He just did the artwork, so he's not responsible for not updating more recently. But anyway, there it is. It looks like it's going to be great, and eventually it will come out because it's practically done. So
Yeah, the Brightwisers have fulfilled many campaigns, of course.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna get.
they've already done ours. Oh yeah. So no worries there.
But all these links are in the description of the campaign, this video, so you guys go and check those out. If you,
Aaron, looking at your piece on camera, it looks like Man Thing is vomiting ink.
It does. It really does.
Some people might say that I'm vomiting ink. So. All right, someone did jump in and help me out. We'll share this to spread the glory here. But yeah, we were over. Somebody backed me, and I got over 146. There we go.
Yay!
Woo! Thank you.
Yeah, nice.
Backers too. Look at that. Thank you. Art of Roy brought that to my attention. So
that's awesome.
Art of Roy.
Nice.
Art of Roy, who mysteriously knew about the David Finch story.
He was listening. He was right there.
Oh no, I try to think that I don't think I told that on air anyplace. So I wonder if he was there.
Hold on a second. Aaron, pull up Dan's Den comment. I'm sorry, I keep saying Dan's Den, Dad's Den.
Vomiting Ink, The Art of Gary Martin.
If I had a cannon, no, hold on a second. I can do this.
Uh-oh, Kelsey's taken. Oh, no.
What?
Kelsey, Tiger doesn't look like that.
What?
The cat is talking about her hair.
Before she was Tigra, she was the cat. Always had red hair. Ooh. You have to paint over that now.
Can do.
And you will do, because you know red is your secret weapon.
Next week.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, is that the only thing wrong with it?
Well, you haven't gotten far enough along that we can make any more value judgments here.
Yeah, I just mean actual inaccuracies of costume, or does she have the stripes at least?
Yeah, she does. I've drawn her, I know.
Should have asked you for reference.
Well, she guest starred in a couple issues of Ms. Marvel, and I don't think I need to tell you that those were the pages that sold immediately as soon as I finished them. So,
when
the boys like Tigra, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, I better get it right then.
Yeah,
I want a chance to sell at the
That's
next
right.
Auction.
We'll have another auction before you know it. So I got to try and get. I got to talk to Stroman and see if we can get him on here. He said he would come on, but he needed some time to get caught up on something. So I guess I'll contact him this week and see if maybe he'd be interested in coming on next week.
What would we do with Stroman? Like, what? How could we do we want to make it easy on him, or do we want to challenge him?
Well, I think the three categories would be big butts, big thighs, or
that would be making it easy on him. That's what I'm saying.
But it would force all of us to do it too. So.
That's true. That's true. He's really good at sci-fi. Yeah, that would be an easy one. I mean, we're just giving it to him, I guess. All right, he wins.
Aaron, you've got
either Misty Knight, 70s blaxploitation chicks, or Storm.
Here we go. Zaid Comics for $5. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. He says, this just in. Glenn Fabry and Bisley are going to CGC signing in September. Send in your Wraith of Gods and Lost Pages.
Whoa.
Also back Lost Pages. If I have the Wraith of Gods back from the printer in time, that's the problem. Thank you, Phil, for the $5.
Well, hurry up.
I gotta get those. I should be working on Kit Carter pages right now, not this Man Thing drawing.
And we should all be probably doing other things right now.
Kelsey, you basically are doing Jaguar.
Yeah, sure.
You're looking at the wrong reference again. You got to start over now.
Did Gil Kane work on Jaguar ever?
Nope, I don't think so.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm to start over. You know what we should have done? We should have drawn Atlas Comics.
What
know,
are
from
those?
the 70s? You don't.
Oh yeah,
When Martin Goodman kind of lost control of Marvel, he went and formed Atlas Comics in the 70s, and that lasted about what, 2 years maybe.
We should do that for an episode. That'd be fun. Like the choices would be like Atlas Comics, Charlton. Like what are some other like failed? Well, Charlton did really well, but you know what I mean. Like
well, there was you could do any of the 80s stuff, right? Because it was Atlas. There was who did E-Man? Was that Charlton? I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Gary, Joe Staten, E-Man. I think it was Charlton.
Yeah, Staten. Yeah.
Yeah, so we could do Charlton, we could do Atlas, and then what's one other bogus company that was floating around?
What's some more crap we can add in there?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was
bogus.
Somebody. There was some weird, like, was it Red Circle or something that was publishing like Ghostly Manor or some like kind of crap comics in the 70s.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
I get
love
to pick next. I get to pick next. So I think we've already decided what we're going to be doing.
That used to be one of my dreams, is to like get in. I think after Stephen Platt got Moon Knight, and I'm like, I never gave two craps about Moon Knight ever, and like suddenly I was like, oh, cool! Like everybody else, this looks neat, different. And so I always had this idea that I was like, man, just give me like the worst thing you got. You know, and I was like, maybe I could.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you got? You know, but they never would. It was always so corporate. You know, at that point where everything was calculated through the accounting department. You know,
Right.
Before they ever greenlit anything.
Yeah.
Well,
But man, that would have been so fun to get on some crap character and do something really fun with it because nobody cares. You know.
Well, that's what I always tried to do at DC, is because I didn't want to be bothered. So
Exactly. Yeah.
if I do the Creeper, no one's going to care, and I won't have to deal with all this crap.
I love the Creeper. Yeah.
But trying to get like you said, trying to get Dan DiDio to sign off on something like that was like almost impossible. But I did get it. He finally caved and let me do Metamorphose. So
Was Wally Wood's Dynamo Comics? Was that Tower?
yes.
So I'm trying to figure out how to fit Wally Wood in again. Maybe we could throw Tower into your mix.
Did they do any other? Was it just Woods, or did they have other books that they did?
I'm recalling a bunch of different ones because he had Gil Kane and some of his contemporaries working.
Kelsey, look that up. See what you can find.
I'm busy. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Chad, help me out here. What characters, what book titles were in Tower Comics?
Kelsey would have no problem recommending me look it up.
No, of course. What do you think this is?
Oh man,
I'm almost done here. Give me a break.
Roy says Ernie Cologne's Tiger Man. That's okay. I remember Tiger Man.
That was Tower?
Roderick's Planet of the Vampires. David, you remember that?
Wait, Planet of the Vampires was Atlas, though. That wasn't Tower.
I love that movie. What is that? Mario Bava, Planet of the Vampires.
Yeah, what's that guy, that kind of creepy looking dude that was always played a villain? He was in that. What was his name? I can't remember.
Planet of the Vampires?
His first name Shelley.
It was all like Italian people. I didn't even remember.
No, there was a couple American dudes in there.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Okay, now I got to look it up.
I own that movie. Here, I'll go get it.
Oh yeah, I got to look it up, and you own it.
Let's see who gets it first.
Art of Roy says Iron Jaw by Pablo Martin.
Yes, and The Brute, Barry Sullivan. That's who I was thinking of. In your face, I got it first.
Thunder Agents, Marcus. Yes, that's what I was trying to remember. Thunder Agents.
Daniel Russell says Aaron Lopresti is creepy looking. What the heck is going on in the?
He caught a look of that close up of your arm.
I don't know how much more of this I can take. Jeez. You try to be a nice guy and put on a show for the people, and this is what you get. Is Kelsey gone? He's still looking for Planet of the Vampires. I already answered my question.
This vein of conversation backfired on Kelsey. He's wanting you to get up and.
I know now he's been gone for like 15 minutes. He can't find his DVD. It's around here someplace. Planet of the Vampires. Where is it? Where did I leave it?
One slick dude says Death Squad, Scorpion, Lomax, Phoenix, just to name a few.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're getting someplace.
Yeah.
There was a lot of lame titles. There was like Police Woman or something was one of them, wasn't it? And
Marcus Tower, Dynamo, Undersea Agent, No Man. That's right. Forgot about
those. Yeah, those are Tower.
Yeah. So somehow we got to get Wally Wood back in the mix.
I forgot what I was looking for. Man from Planet X. What were we looking for? No, this ain't it. Okay, no what?
No. The guy I was thinking of was Barry Sullivan, Kelsey.
Oh, okay.
The actor that was in Planet of the Vampires.
Oh. I'll take your word for it.
He looks kind of like he's like a poor man's Lee Van Cleef kind of guy.
Did they dub him with another American, or did they actually?
No, it was actually his voice. It's like, they used to do that. Like they would have the American actors in these foreign films, and they would just speak English.
Yeah.
And everybody else was speaking Italian or whatever, and then they would dub the Italian people's for the American audience, but leave the American actor's voice the same. And then I would assume they dubbed him for the Italian audience, right? So
yeah, they did that with the Clint Eastwood movies. Yeah,
those were actually good though.
Yeah.
That was Sergio Leone, man. Those were good.
Sergio Leone, man.
Yeah. Sergio Leone. No,
you don't care for the Bava? You don't like the Bava?
No, I like Planet of the Vampires. That was a scary movie when I saw that when I was a kid because they're more like zombies. They weren't really like
Blood and Black Lace. I freaking love that.
No, that one I haven't seen.
Bloody Sunday, was that one of them?
Like everything's got blood in it.
Well, yeah, he's Mario Bava. One of my favorites is he did a Hercules. He did one of the Hercules in the Haunted World, I think was the one he did. So it had horror in it,
Well, is he sort of a cult filmmaker, or is he actually a good filmmaker?
Well, both. I mean, I like him. He's really good, especially when he's in his element of like horror, classic like gothic horror stuff. But he's really well known for making movies extremely cheap, and for someone doing it that cheap, he really was very creative at what he would do to spice it up. And man, I just find him remarkable. I love watching his movies.
What's the but what do the critics say about him? Is he like
I think so, but I mean it's hard to tell at this point because he's a cult filmmaker. I mean, people love him, but it's hard to tell if they love him for his actual filmmaking or just because he's Mario Bava. But I watch his stuff, like you watch Blood and Black Lace, the beginning of that looks like a David Fincher movie. And you're like, holy crap, man, this guy was advanced before his day.
Well, was it Abel Gance? Wasn't he the guy that was like kind of a cult filmmaker that kind of was like critically recognized? He did Driller Killer and
no, Abel Ferrara.
Abel Ferrara, that's it, not Abel Gance. Ferrara, yeah.
Driller Killer. Abel Ferrara did King of New York. Man, freaking love Abel Ferrara. But that guy, he's objectively awesome. I mean, he's actually an incredible filmmaker. I mean, he's I think he's got like Kubrick looking at his movies and stuff. There was something about it, he was ahead of his game.
Well, Driller Killer was like, it was like almost a slasher film secondarily. I mean,
it was like his first movie.
Yeah, but it was like really, I mean, there was so much more going on. It was really bizarre, but it was so much more going on in that film than just some guy like going out and using a drill to kill people.
I thought it was wasn't it a woman? Or no, that was the other one. He did another one.
He acted in it. He played the lead. He was this artist.
Right.
And he had two roommates that were women, and it was just bizarre, weird film.
Yeah, he's I like you know, like he'll focus on stuff that nobody else does, but his filmmaking
Right.
is very like King of New York looks like a big movie, even though it's probably it probably still costs the same, but it's just like his shot choices and things like that make his movies feel much bigger than they are. Oh, he did a Bad Lieutenant, which I don't like watching it. It makes me feel bad.
That's a hard movie to watch.
What movie?
Bad Lieutenant. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, he's a despicable human being in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a city, you know, he's a hardcore like New York filmmaker. He comes straight out of that world, and I mean, even more so than like Scorsese. You know, Scorsese was kind of a film nerd, and I get the idea that Abel Ferrara just is. Like Abel Ferrara is Abel Ferrara. He ain't being anybody else. He ain't, you know, making movies based on French foreign films. He's making it straight from his gut, you know.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, dude, I've seen a documentary of him where he's just nuts. He'll just go down to like the music store, start playing guitar, and then he'll come outside, see some guy riding on a motorcycle. He's like, "Hey, let me hitch a ride with you down," you know, and then he's like on the back of some guy's motorcycle going down the. It's crazy. That's his house. Manhattan, New York is his house. It's just weird. Quite a character, that guy.
There's a lot of strange stuff going on in cinema in the 70s.
Yeah. Man, I like watching those movies, though, because there's no special effects. If there is, it's very little. And it's amazing how much interest they can get out of just people talking about stuff.
Well, it was a totally different thing. There wasn't, like you said, there was no special effects going on, and because they wouldn't do it because it looked cheesy. So it was like even Jaws, you know, was like, that shark sucks, so we're not going to show the shark hardly at all. You know,
and they got creative with it.
Yeah, it became this brilliant film. You know.
Well, they had to solve those problems, you know, the hard way.
And like we're solving problems right now the hard way. Why?
But like,
suck?
if you ever watch, like I just watched Slaughterhouse-5 recently. I mean, it was a few years ago at this point, but I remember growing up having all kinds of preconceptions of what that movie was. And then as I get older, I start understanding about Kurt Vonnegut, actually reading some of his stuff. I'm like, all right, let me finally get. And I love the filmmakers, George Roy Hill, who did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It's one of my all-time favorites.
I didn't know
Yes,
that.
he did. Yeah. And you watch that movie and you're like, oh, it's just like people talking. But I swear it's so freaking compelling. And you get into the rhythms of it. It's very slow and kind of meanders here and there. But yeah, it's so great. The observations, like there's this one whole sequence where he decides he's going to grow up. He's going to get married. He finds this woman who loves him, but he's not really all that into it. But, you know, she fits the bill. And then he gets a dog, and then the whole thing is told through his relationship with his dog. His wife has a kid. They're doing things with the kid. They're having people come out to the house. You could tell years are going by, but he's just throwing the bone with his dog. He's like playing with the dog, and you know the whole time. And it's like such an interesting point of view of like marriage, at least from that character's point of view. You know, you could tell he wasn't really into it, but so they did that filmically, thematically through like this. He's completely ignoring the entire lifespan of his marriage and just focusing on his dog. It's really interesting, and it bounces around through time because it's like you know, you're like your memories, you can kind of bounce all over. So I think it's supposedly like he's dead, maybe, or on his deathbed, or being. And they kind of did it through the perspective of like maybe he was abducted by aliens or something, and he's skipping around through time. I'm honestly not really sure. I think it leaves a lot open for interpretation.
I just recently saw, like if you watch like AMC on, I don't know, the weekends or whatever, they have like this like sort of 70s underground cinema or 80 or whatever, this underground cinema show that they do.
Yeah.
They just had on Eating Raoul. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, man, I know of it. I don't know if I've ever seen that one though.
Yeah, I know the title, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Paul Bartel wrote it, and I think he directed it and starred in it. And Mary, I think it's his wife, very interesting looking woman, very hard looking, his wife. And just a weird, I mean, it was supposed to be like a black comedy, and I guess it was, but it was really weird. You think, how did he get, and by watching it, you're like, okay, I was going to say, how did he get funded for this? But there was not a whole lot of funding involved.
Black comedy like Medea or like?
What
am I thinking of?
Well, anytime
oh, I get what you're saying.
The subject matter was.
I was thinking Tyler Perry.
Oh, no, not black comedy like that. I mean, like.
Oh, okay.
Like dark. I'm sure.
Oh, subject matter. Okay, I got you.
I mean, like a dark comedy, when you're kind of like.
Dad's Den says Medea eats Raoul. Coming soon.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking Tyler Perry when I said that. Yeah.
Aaron heads up.
Starring Lizzo.
The chat is getting excited that Kelsey's breaking out his colors.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, I'm still establishing my my shadows here. So.
He's like, we're done. Show's over.
Yeah. Okay. What is the clock situation, Aaron?
Get end the show before Kelsey can put red on that.
I gotta get that hair in. Coming quick.
No, we've got 30 minutes. Give or take, depending on how much I need. You know how it goes. I thought I was being loose, but Kelsey, you seem to get the paints like really quickly. I think it's because you're drawing smaller.
It's like 2 inches smaller than yours, and that's all I want to hear about that.
He doesn't have another drawing.
Cut off conversation.
Yeah, end of conversation.
End of conversation. Do not. Well, good luck with that. You just baited the chat. So
Is that Kelsey? Is that yellow like neon?
Yeah, a little bit. What is this? It says lemon yellow. Oh Lord.
Okay. Dude, he's like Abel Ferrar. He just goes by the gut, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I haven't painted anything in a while. I've been like busy getting, work done and stuff, doing computer stuff. So it's the first painting I've done in weeks, really.
I don't know. Your color choices today are making me really apprehensive about seeing the nightclub pages now.
They're all neon yellow.
Yeah, it's like, Aaron, I really thought we went neon here. This would really work.
Thought it could use a little more neon. Yeah.
You can't have enough neon. That's what I say.
That's me doing an impression of Aaron doing an impression of me. Yeah, right. We need some more color in here.
Yeah, that's how you start a sentence.
Yeah,
that's right. You had a big old chomping on a cigar, and you're like, yeah, see. Oh.
Aaron, are you going to ink the Captain Marvel on the back?
I wanted to paint I've abandoned Captain Marvel. I got over that. It was like a 5-minute span where I just kind of felt like maybe I should go in this direction. And I got over it real quick.
I'm over it. Yeah.
I got to work on my Kelsey.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Henry Bemis, Kelsey G. Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? It kind of makes you wonder what Kirby sounded like in his youth. He kind of looked like Edward G. Robinson, didn't he?
With the stogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, even he was kind of gruff. Like he didn't have one of those voices that was either like it didn't sound like I'm Jack Kirby, but it was close. And the days when I was chess, how did he?
I met him once.
He was kind of soft spoken, like listening to him talk at a Comic-Con.
Unless you get him talking about Stan, then he's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. But just when he just starts talking about stuff that he's had been thinking about, it doesn't come out like that. It's just, it's thoughtful, and the passion is there, but it's not, what you would think that.
That's a lot of the people from that generation are pretty well spoken. You hear them talking, like you hear Stanley Kubrick Kubrick. You hear him interviewed, and he's chooses his words very carefully. And I was like, well, he's just intellectual. But then you hear Stan Lee or Jack Kirby or any of the old timers, and they are all very well spoken and methodical and their word choices.
Yeah, education was actually important back then.
I know.
Don't you remember that documentary of the Civil War by what's his name? He did a bunch of documentaries on. Ken Burns.
He did the baseball documentary.
Ken Burns. Yeah.
And part of the Civil War documentaries is that they read letters from soldiers, and these were farm boys and laborers and not the educated officers, but the privates and the sergeants, and they all these letters, to home, letters to their mom, that kind of thing. They all sounded like poetry.
Yeah.
And it confirmed what an idiot I am.
Yeah.
These farm boys,
I've been saying that for years.
They had a mastery of the English language that I will never achieve.
Yeah. And that was just basic education, right? We got the lowest of society sounds like an aristocrat today,
Exactly.
And they wore suits. I've often thought about that.
Yeah, they wore suits everywhere. Yeah.
Well, it's these little things. I've thought about this too, and people are like, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, because it is these little things like making your bed every morning. When you get up, you make your bed. It's these little things that kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe you do.
You wash it.
Well, no, I don't.
Before you leave the house.
Yeah, you do these little things that add up to that we lose kind of not respect. I don't know the word I'm looking for. We just lose a little bit of that kind of, I don't know, respect, I guess. I don't know a better word for it.
That's part of it. I think that's it, is that they respected everything. They didn't take anything for granted. It was everything had a meaning and a value.
Well, you hear, that comes out a lot, and you see this today, especially in college sports and football programs, that we need to establish a culture of doing things the right way, guys being on time, and stuff that you would think, 60 years ago, none of this stuff was ever even an issue.
Right.
No. And now you've got to make it into something because people are just used to not living that way. Don't make like you said, don't make your bed. Make sure you're there on time, and you have, respect for the people that you're, not only respect for whatever you're doing, but the other people you're also working with, whatever you have to be doing. Right. And it's
right. And so the idea of getting up and making your bed and doing all these things and then putting on a suit,
right,
and then coming in here and drawing, and it's well, why are you doing that? Well, it's kind of a reminder of the little things that I can't even put it into words. See, I'm not from that time. I can't put things into words.
You're not articulate enough.
No, not at all. But I understand the meaning of why that would be a good thing to do.
Well, look at all the pictures of these guys. You see them in their studios drawing comic books. They're all wearing ties, and they all had a shirt on, I mean, a button collared shirt and stuff. And it's
well, even Kirby in his house, still had the slacks and the sweater and the, he got up, made it a regular day. It wasn't I get up, I'm barely I get my coffee and I'm drawn. I don't even, I don't even have pants on half the time.
Those are the pants or not.
Yeah, so it's just these. It definitely makes me think. I had a friend of mine, Joe White, who draws a book called Twilight X at Antarctic, and he would always put on a suit. He had the same suit. It was all wrinkly and worn, and it looked like one of those, those kinds of Hard Day's Night suits from the the Beatles.
Right.
Real simple and And then I asked him why he do that, and he's like, just respect. Said kind of the same thing. You go to a con, you dress nice, people will react to you differently.
Yeah, it's like how people dress for church nowadays compared to like 20, 30 years ago.
Oh, even when I was a kid, they dressed to the nines. We put our best on, Sunday best.
Yeah.
And then we had now it's casual Fridays or casual Sundays, at church.
Exactly, shorts and it is interesting though that and it does affect culture. It does affect the way people act in culture too.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't, but it goes back to having standards, right? Beyond just personal, this is how I want to do it, but it's kind of like societal standards saying this is what our expectation is for everybody. And that's why you had, such a problem when, I guess the 60s, when you finally had this hippie culture where it was total rebellion against all that. And you had all these old people saying, what are these kids, young kids, they don't know how to dress, they don't blah, blah, blah. And it's in a way it was true because you had the whole society had been living like that for, over a century or a couple centuries of, dressing up in public and presenting yourself in the very mannered and responsible way. And then it just became all hell broke loose in the 60s because those damn Beatles. And,
Beatles in their wrinkly suits.
Yeah.
Dad's den said he went to a funeral in Las Vegas and people were wearing flip-flops.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a different thing,
And you've got a super chat.
But I think it does affect people. I do think it affects negatively in society overall. I mean,
if you ever wear a suit too, it makes you feel different.
Right, it does. Yeah.
It makes me feel claustrophobic. Nathan Robinson for $2 says Kelsey paints with mustard, ketchup, and mayo. That's right. That's right. He has his leftovers from lunch. And he's like, I think I can put a little water in here and I might have something.
That's how the masters did it. Yeah, back in the day.
Exactly. That's right. You combine what you're eating with what your tools were.
I wonder if I can get paint out of this. Yeah, let's try.
I paint with lights.
Yeah. I've actually thought about that. I've thought about that recently because I've been taking photos of my artwork, and I hit it with some weird light where it was only hitting at the top, and the bottom kind of fell in the shadow, and it actually colored the piece in a way that I had not seen before. And I was like, gosh, I should just take a picture of it like this and just say, this is it, Dude,
you're becoming like a performance artist or something, you're just
you kind of have to be.
Like that trippy film you made that you showed on Comics with Kings a couple of weeks ago. It's like,
oh yeah,
Kelsey Shannon, avant-garde filmmaker.
Those are all like 5 years old at this point. Like I was doing that all like ages ago. Now I'm way more boring.
Are you like the Andy Warhol of comics? What we're looking at here?
Yeah, that's not your hand doing the painting. You've got some college intern actually doing the work.
Exactly. Yeah, this was a Campbell soup can before.
Actually, you're painting with Campbell's tomatoes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I kind of went a little hot on the orange here. First, I went a little neon on the yellow. Now I'm a little hot on the orange.
Yeah, but if you bring everything up to the same intensity, it'll dull everything down. See, it won't seem quite as.
If you can make it all look like crap, it'll all work out.
Yeah, it'll all just fit together nicely.
Yeah, let's see if I can get some red in that hair. I don't know.
You're gonna have to go. Acrylic, man, and.
Gouache can do it.
You think so?
Some red dripping from her fangs.
Oh yeah, good idea, Gary.
Just on the one hand.
I don't know.
That's the winning move right there. I'm glad you're in my corner.
I think I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm thinking you may have to go acrylic to cover up that hair. I don't know if gouache is going to do it.
How much you want to bet on it?
I've learned one thing in life is to stop betting because every time I do, I lose.
I could probably most definitely tint it orange, whether or not it'll completely cover it.
Daniel Russell says Tigra looking great.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, you know, when I did all those cereal things, I didn't do Tony the Tiger. I should have done that.
Oh,
I did Sugar Bear, but I didn't do Tony the Tiger.
what would he be? Like a mob hitman? Like what would?
Oh, my Tony the Tiger. Well, that wasn't that Married to the Mob? Wasn't that the name of the character? Was Tony the Tiger?
He's Tony the Enforcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it works.
It might be. Oh, yeah. See, actually, you can just put some highlights in there, and yeah, look at that. Glad I recommended it.
Did we bet?
I don't know.
You owe me $5 or something. What did we agree on? What did we agree on?
I don't think I did. I think
what was the number thrown around?
So, Kelsey, are you normally a over? No, I'm not saying like at the moment, but over history, are you normally a con attendee kind of guy, or are you a guy that avoided them like the plague?
A little bit of both. Like I like going. Sometimes catch up with people, friends. Do some signing, whatnot. I guess, but man, I hate the travel part of it. Like I like being there.
Travel.
Yeah, it's the getting everything ready. Did I forget everything? Did I miss? Did I have my laundry or all my underwear? Did I forget all those? Like it's all the stuff surrounding getting everything ready. And my cars, my hotels set up, plane tickets, whatnot. It's just all that.
Yeah,
it's so difficult when I'm, all I want to do is draw Tigra. It's the same thing goes with anything. People are like, you got to do live stream. I'm like, I'm drawing Tigra, like
true.
Yeah. But I gotta, we gotta do these things. I've never been that good at my business. And it's something that, I'm trying to, I've always been a company guy, basically, whether it's, I did independence, but it was always for an independent who just paid me to do a thing. So occasionally I would do a creator-owned thing with a friend, but the friend handled a lot of the business, or it was done through Image or Antarctic. Antarctic handles a lot of the stuff. So this is like a whole other game, and it's a case where you have to. If you want to do this, you have to develop your own audience. There's nobody going to do it for you. And man, I'm so thrilled. I barely campaigned for this at all. And like I was getting groceries today while my campaign was ending. I'm obviously terrible at this. And I go look at Twitter, and they're like people shouting out my campaign, and I'm so thrilled. And I need to go say thank you, but I just hate Twitter so much. And I will, and I'll put out an update and thank all those people. It's just I couldn't do it without everybody behind me helping me out, and so even though I'm doing this on my own, I don't feel like I'm doing it on my own. I got everybody in the chat, teams of people helping me through,
dragging you through the finish line.
So the least I could do at that point to live up to that, to all the work that everybody else has been putting into my campaign, is to continually strive to get my business more down and to figure out my game plan, which I've been doing a lot of in the last year. So it's going to be fun. I mean, I tell you what, this stuff is expensive. That's all I really come away from this. Juggling all these, hold on a second. All these books, they're expensive, man. Expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm doing okay, but then when you take out shipping, you're doing China, you got to have the shipping from the printer. That's if I go to China, and then you got to have it shipped on a thing. You got to have it, even if it's not China, you still got to have all the books shipped from the printer, then to the distributor. The distributor's got to get all the materials, the packing boxes and stuff. The shipping.
No, wait a minute. So you're not fulfilling. You're hiring someone to fulfill for you.
I was determined to kind of do it through the system that Luke Stone and those guys, Critical Blast does a lot of the fulfillment, and I've heard a lot of
Gotcha.
yeah, and I've heard a lot of good things about him. And my house currently, this is enough to make me want to quit smoking because like
everything smells like cigarette smoke.
I can't fulfill here even if I wanted to because I don't want it all to smell like cigarette smoke. So I'm really considering making some like big changes in that area.
Changes and
yeah. Well, that I'd like to be able to fulfill smaller campaigns myself, and then if I have to do if I end up with a bigger one, I can get help. Honestly, at this point, seeing how much this stuff costs and how much you got to charge people for it, I'm like, why aren't we doing web comics for readership and then doing the crowdfunding for the special editions and collections, and the art books? And I feel like we're neglecting the readership through we're selling a product that is usually reserved for books that are hits already. And we're selling them out of the gate at these high-end things. And it's like, I kind of want to build a readership. But then again, nobody wants to read books online. So except for teenagers, I guess. I don't know who's, but I go and look at some of these web comics and they got millions of views, millions.
Yeah, but are they making any money though?
Yeah, they are. They're making a lot of money. It depends on if you're making millions and millions of views, yeah, you're making a lot of money, but there's a lot of people doing it that aren't, of course.
Well, when you're art centric, like guys like us are, it's kind of like it just seems I don't like digital as a format to view art on,
Yeah,
but
just
the story and reading the story, then yeah. But if you're, I'm not saying story's not important, but I'm saying as a writer artist, when you're really art is a big deal. And plus we're a little bit old fashioned too, right? I mean, it's like we're used to the paper product and it's like, I don't want to read comics digitally. I mean, I know there's people that do, but I'm not one.
Well, I mean, the thing is that our ability to be out there on a regular basis and more often and to be always on the forefront of entertainment has been taken away. We don't have really the ability to do the monthly grind or to have story out there more regularly. People, by the time these books come out, people have already forgotten. Like I often forget about books that I've already bought because it's months, if not years later before I even get them. So
there's some truth to that.
Yeah. So I'm always kind of thinking about, there's probably books that I want to do that are more art centric or more cool, like cool for cool's sake, let's make this one a big one. And then there's other stuff I want to do where I just want to like tell stories, I want to, and there's like no, and in this format, you have no page count. I'm like, God, if I had 5 more pages, this scene would be like so much better. I can really milk these scenes.
Now you've got your 5 pages.
Huh?
You've got your 5 pages now.
What do you mean?
It means you can make it as long as you want or as short as you want, right?
Yeah, but the longer you make it, the heavier and the bigger the book's going to be, the more it's going to cost to make and then sell. It's like all these things.
Yeah, but
got nothing.
No, I was going to say Wraith of Gods, Blood Hunters. Blood Hunters is 108 pages.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm still selling it for $25. But I've done well in terms of raising capital to produce it, so it's not as painful as if I, it's like if you raise 25 grand to do your book, and it's 48 pages or it's 100 pages, that's a freaking huge difference. I've raised enough money on it that I've been able to absorb the extra time it's taken me to do the book because of the extra pages. But in most cases that's not. So I mean, I understand what you're saying. There is the problem of getting the book out in a timely fashion, right? And the longer the book is, the longer it takes for it to get done. I mean, you got more pages to do. So I'm trying to find that kind of happy medium where people feel like they're getting their money's worth, but they're also getting it in a timely fashion. Like,
I know, like some guys will do the Patreon thing where they'll serialize it on the Patreon. I'm thinking specifically about the cartoon kayfabe guys. I watch those guys a lot, see what they're up to. Mostly look at old comics, but they often will serialize every week whatever they're working on for like whatever whoever wants to see it, pay for it on Patreon, but it's all eventually leading up to the release. Well, they're doing it through the mainstream, but it's a way that you can like see it and have for the people that want it, because there's we grew up having it at Wednesday Warriors, man. Every Wednesday I'd be at the comic book store and I'd be getting something, and every month my favorite comic would be coming out, and it's just like we got none of that really anymore.
No.
And I got a lot of story to tell, and I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time with like just on the how long this stuff takes to do, just to get through the campaign and to publish it and all this other stuff. And I've been thinking about the whole, and not like web comics where you go to one of those Chinese web comics and you do it scrolling down, like, I mean, you put 4 pages up a week, depending on how fast you are, I guess.
Well, see, don't you think the problem here is that the bigger issue is that we're doing everything ourselves?
Yeah.
I'm going to experiment a little bit here. When I do the Kit Carter graphic novel, I'm having it inked. And I mean, not just by someone that's got a warm body, but someone who's really good.
Yeah.
Some kid that lives down the street.
Yeah, exactly. And but what it's going to do is it's going to enable me to get this book out in 6 months as opposed to a year.
But
right?
your money, the cost of it just went up.
Yeah, but of course there's an expectation that I have to raise a certain amount of money to be able to actually pay.
Just buy the inker.
But here's the reality of it is it doesn't really change it. What it does is, say you make $80,000, right? You raise 80 grand or whatever, and you say, okay, that now I can pay this guy his $150 page rate to ink this, so I get a professional job. It looks great, and it takes me. I'm penciling, say, 64 pages. If I'm just penciling like I would for DC, this would, I slow down a little bit, take a little bit more care, do 4 pages a week. So you're doing 16 pages a month. So in 4 months, you've basically essentially penciled 64 pages, right? And you assume your inker's right on your tail, week or 2 behind you.
Like your colorist.
And your colorist right behind him, kind of thing, like putting it together like you would a regular comic. So this thing is done in 6 months. Now I'm not as much money is going in my pocket, but I'm only working on it for 4 months. I'm not working on it for 12 months. So it's like I don't need as much money. Now I can launch the next campaign, and the readers are like, oh, I have to wait 1.5 years for Aaron to come up with his next project. Now I'm getting 2 a year.
Well, it seems like the most you could possibly do. I mean, you could probably do more, but like you have a month of campaign, like a month of fulfillment, a month of getting ready to do the next one, and then the next one you're on. So it's like every 3 months you got to be cooking in order to get like 4 out a year, 3 or 4 out a year.
Well, I think 3, unless you're actually just, unless you're going to become entirely a publisher, you can't get that many out, because at some point, at that point, you're hiring every job out. Maybe you're writing it all yourself, but you're hiring artists, you're hiring inkers. That way you can get more titles out, but then none of it's you. And the reason people are backing is not just because you wrote it, because they want to see your art too.
Yeah.
And so you can't.
But see, I'm just not. I'm like, there's one half of me that likes that people are interested in my art, but that only goes so far. I think that we're starving for character, and and you see how people latch on to like my character Shank before they even know what he is. Just the idea that there's a new character, something to like read about and discover.
That's their personal feelings towards you too. They like Kelsey, so they like what Kelsey's doing. Maybe there's some of that in there. But again, it's quality, right? If I hired David, for example, who apparently is asleep, if I hired David to draw my book and I just wrote it, right? and let him pencil it. And then I was working on it. People would be very happy because it would look really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Right. And even though it's not me, they're still going, well, this is, David Williams is almost as good as Aaron. And he's not even there. He's
not even there for all this goodness.
He's left the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm listening to your bullshit.
Aaron, what's the clock situation?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, right.
We got 2 hours to go, so we're good. Kelsey's like, what?
2 hours? Wait a minute, yeah.
We've actually got, like, from when we started, you want to be exact, we got about 6 minutes.
Okay.
So thank you, Gary. I was
pressure on.
Well, this is. I'm glad you're interested in talking about this stuff, because these are things that weigh on my mind, and I often try to bring these stuff up on like my show, because my audience often has great takes on these things as people that want to buy this kind of stuff. So I'm always interested in their take on, and the webcomic thing. I've been trying to hit that up since forever. Because like I love the idea of being able to do story, and it would have to be not as an art thing, like. Right. I constantly go after this with the book comics that we've read were produced in 3 weeks generally. Yeah. Right. And they were produced fast. They are not high quality. We look at them and try to emulate them and spend way too much time doing it. And then we end up where we are today, where nothing gets done. And it's like, I want to get back to that place where we're cranking it out with compelling stories and characters.
There was still guys,
and then people will judge it based on what it is. It will be great or it won't be in the future.
But the difference between a wildly wide open independent market like we're in right now, and back then, which was a smaller group of artists and stuff, these guys were super talented that were doing these books. They were just
for sure.
Buscema was knocking stuff out, but it was still. And in his barest form, it was really good because he was extremely talented. It's not just a matter of doing something fast. It's doing something fast. Yeah, you don't put in the detail that, say, Barry Smith did on Red Nails, but you still have this incredible structural talent that Buscema had in his drawings, that even though there was no detail, it was still really well done.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that. We can't do that.
Well, no, I said there's people that can, but there's not a large.
Just not any of us, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I get it. Yeah.
Well, other than me, I mean,
don't flatter yourself, kid. That's what. Yeah.
No, but that's to me is the difference, right? It's like a lot of stuff gets covered up in modern art by line work and things like that really dress it up and make it look really cool. When you're just drawing the outline of a figure, which is essentially what Kirby was doing or Buscema was doing, or even Gene Colan, with spotting some blacks to create some weight, but they weren't laboring over the feathering lines and it was just the basic drawing. And when you have guys that are structurally strong and sound, you can do that, right? Because the drawing is still there. It's not all about the special effects. But
yeah, I mean, my main thing is not like I've often always tried to compete like with an artist, artiste. Like I'll never be a what do you call it? A Frank Frazetta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I'll never be like a Frazetta, but I can definitely be a Frank Miller.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I can capitalize on the moment that you create in a story to capture an audience's attention.
And that
probably a lot better than I can wow them with a one illustration kind of thing, but
well, yeah. And I mean, David's a perfect example of someone that's kind of, I wouldn't call him, is he still on the show? I wouldn't call him a minimalist, but he has a much more animated influence style. Right.
Oh yeah. I love it.
But it's so well drawn that it doesn't matter. You don't have to have all that over rendering in there because the drawing is really, really good. And, I've spent too much of my life trying to perfect that sort of, that detail type stuff, instead of really spending time focusing on the structure. But Image did that to us to a certain degree, right? I mean, that
Yes.
focusing on all the wrong things. And then the fans started focusing on that stuff, and suddenly John Buscema wasn't good enough anymore because he didn't do enough lines on his stuff.
Well, we can go back. We can go back to it.
Well, if the readership, you guys in the chat, if you guys in the chat are willing to accept that,
I mean, it all depends on the story. I mean, like, no disrespect to Mark Bagley, but people bought that stuff for Spider-Man and then became Bagley fans. You didn't like come out of the gate as if Bagley came out here with that stuff, he'd have a hard time. You know what I mean? Like, well, not a hard time, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a matter, and that's because that book was out there on the shelves, every week or every month, or there was some form of Spider-Man, and he was the one doing it, so it's not about the art. People were were into the compelling story or the character.
Well, so we blame Arthur Adams for all this,
he's one of them. Michael Golden, all the entire Gaijin crew. I blame them all.
Yep.
Well, one of the things, though, the fun
Joe
thing,
Madureira, blame him. Computer coloring, it's all responsible.
Brian Hitch.
I have my fair share in that too, trying to up the game. We're all trying to up it every time we're out,
But the fun thing about what we're doing on this show, just to plug our own show that you guys are is that we're basically doing that, right? We're doing in 2 hours trying to break down a drawing, make it look good without the tight detail. I mean, I'm doing a lot of lines and stuff on Man Thing, but it's all incredibly loose. I'm not, every line isn't precise, and so we're actually sort of retraining ourselves to kind of take on this challenge.
Well, I'm of the firm opinion that it's at least in comics, it's mostly about communicating an idea to the reader in a very effective way.
Right.
And I don't really necessarily think it's about art at all, because except for the cool factor and how cool that looks, because comic books are generally known as some of the worst art in history. I mean, we are the bottom of the barrel for most art fans. And I revel in that. I love it, mind you. And our art is way more fun than any of their potted plant with a cow skull still life art. I'll take this stuff any day. That stuff could be painted better than the freaking Sistine Chapel, but it wouldn't hold a candle to John Buscema to me.
Right.
So I'll take that trash art any day, and that's what's so fun about it. But we're trying to take it out of being trash and turn it into fine art.
Well,
we're not for Zeta.
Right. Well, ultimately, it is storytelling, and it is communicating that story in an effective way that captures somebody's imagination.
Right.
It's not about all the lines and all. I mean, it can be, and it is to some people.
It's not a competition.
But
no, it's never a competition.
You also have to consider all that has to be done under a deadline.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And speaking of deadlines,
are we at it? Is this it?
Gary's pulling. He's like the editor of the show, man. He's like, dude, he goes, turn that in, man. Turn it in.
Good segue. Yeah, look at that.
Right, this has got to go to the printer. Yeah. Okay. So we're over by a minute. So
this is like the days when FedEx is like at the door. Hang on.
Yeah. Exactly. Wait. I'm almost done.
Yep.
I'm almost done. All
All
right.
right. I'm pretty much done, I guess.
Yeah. I think once again, I did not get the color. I'm going to slap some green on this guy and some red eyes, though, so it won't be long before he's done. I'll use my cheap paints, too, to make a point. But, okay, let's take a look at what I've done. This is Man Thing. Maybe not
nice.
Maybe not as Gil Kane as, it could have been, but...
Aaron, that's cool, but what's that great piece on the back?
I didn't quite get there.
The Daredevil? What is it? Oh.
That was going to be Captain Marvel, but
I really like the chunky ink and style you've been playing with. Yeah. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. I think it has so much life in it, huh?
I do too, kind of. It's sort of antithetical to what I've been doing, but
I know. I mean, that's why I got into your stuff way back in the day, seeing your sludge, and you were hitting that mark for me of that super crisp lines and the cleanliness and everything. But
that was Gary's inking.
Yeah, well, both of you guys. But then this, I like I don't know. There's especially with Man Thing. That could be a part of it too.
Well, there's always that kind of what I've always tried to capture and never could quite figure out was what you really want is after a piece is inked, you want that same energy that's in it in the pencils.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it gets inked out, right? So how do you do
almost
it?
always, yeah.
Yeah. So what do? You have to draw over the top of it with ink, just like you would if with a pencil. And now it's looser, and some people might even say sloppy, but it's got that same energy that your pencils had because you're basically penciling with ink now.
Yeah, I like it.
So there we go.
Yeah, very cool.
Definitely top 3 for today. Definitely. We'll see
if it were a competition. If it were,
but it's not. Of course, this is just a bunch of friends getting together to challenge each other to get better. That's all it is. All right, let's look at the
because if it was a competition, ba-boom,
ba-boom, baby. Well, you did pull the hair out. I like that red highlight in there. That works really, really well.
Yeah, it's a little. The colors are a little odd on here. It's definitely a little different in person, but it works.
I like how you're zooming in on her boob.
I got the highlight of the what do you call it? I was waiting for somebody to fill in that. The spandex is what I was looking for.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Not the nipple. Anyway, there you go.
Now Daniel Russell's got 125 confirmed, so there we go.
All right, early bidding, man.
Yeah, I like it. Squib says, so good, Kelsey. Not as good as Aaron, but so good. He says,
I'll get there someday.
The next one says not as good as me, but Luffy is God. Kelsey.
Thank you
for shouting your name in the crowd. So,
thank you for shouting my name.
He wants to know where her tail is, and Dad's Den of Pop Culture says the tail is behind the hair, of course.
She's got a tail? I didn't know that. Yeah. I mean, it's behind her hair.
She's sitting on it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, look at people are always on Kelsey. The eyes should be green, Kelsey, and you forgot the tail. See, everybody's on your case all the time.
Green? I thought they were yellow.
No.
Oh, dang it. All right. Well, I'll fix it, and it'll be the best thing you ever saw.
That's right.
That's right. That's what we always do on this show. You see one thing, and then suddenly it shows up on Twitter, and you're like, "That's not what I saw on the show."
Did you do that over? No, I swear I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Mr. Williams has for us. Wait. That looks like a really great half-finished drawing. I'd really love to see it finished.
Can we see it without the backlight? Is it
Nope.
Stop it, David. Show us the thing so we can see what it looks like.
You can't see it without it's drawn on
because he's tracing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's tracing it from Gil Kane.
I know. No, the funny thing is that kind of has a Kane vibe to it, don't you think?
It does. Yeah, it does. Yep.
So David always goes that extra mile and tries to represent the artist, and you and I just go, screw that. We're just going to draw whatever we want.
Well, that's what I do, but you were all like, I'm trying to capture the Gil Kane. It's not working. And no, yours is great. I don't even know who Gil Kane is.
What's a Gil Kane?
I think I remember Gil Kane being inked by Kevin Nolan, an artist that I really like.
Yeah. Micro says that Kelsey picture just went to another level with the colors. Read between the lines. That sucked until you colored it. Now I think it's okay.
That's why I'm known as a colorist. I don't hear a lot of people talking about how great my art is. It's always like colors are so good.
Yeah, boy, those colors are really nice, Kelsey. Now, can you learn
to draw?
Thank
you. Yeah, boy. That's great. All right, Gary, what do you got?
Yeah.
So, David, are you going to just ink this, or is this going to show up colored here?
No, I got to color it because it's Green Lantern.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, that green will pop, man. If you can get that green, super vibrant.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing green, too. So it'll be Man-Thing versus Green Lantern, the Battle of the Greens, while Kelsey, once again, sneaks in with the red and takes the crown.
Well, there's only red in one spot, right? And her lipstick.
But that's all it takes, man. People are mesmerized by the red. Now David.
Now we're talking color. It's called. Look, there's green lantern, red lantern, red lantern.
We should turn this into a performance art show. Like dramatic readings, and while we're
you could do anything.
Play the bongos. While David's drawing with that light going on.
Well, we got to do like the convention or the bar version of this. You know how they go to clubs and like Jim Mahfood will like they'll have a DJ there and he'll be like making whatever Mahfood does on stage. Like we could do that. Can we do one of these on stage, like in person?
Wouldn't that be crazy? We'd book it live, the Graybeards live.
Mm-hmm. Next San Diego, let's do it.
Dude, you know what? We could do that. We could do a panel. I could probably get us a panel. We do Graybeards live.
Well, they do that at Heroes. They have the little art auction, whatever you want to say about it. They still do live art on stage for people, so that's kind of cool.
Squib says, very difficult to pick a winner this week. Just kidding. Gary Martin wins.
Always.
Every time.
Just for the hat alone.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Interpretive dance. Yeah, we could do interpretive dance. Jetta Jaga wants us to go to a club with the go-go dancers. And so, we're drawing people to actually be watching the girls and not us.
Well, they check in with us. Where is he at? Oh, he's still penciling. Okay, back to the go-go dancer.
Kind of sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, Kaiser Stone hung in there the whole show with us, and he says, David, send me that once it's inked. I love Green Lantern. He wants to color it.
Right.
So send him a black and white, and then when you color it, we can have Kaiser back and compare them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
No.
That's an extra thing. You can't win based on Kaiser's color. Sorry, I'm putting that out there right now.
But it's not a competition anyway, so there's no winners or losers.
That's true.
Per se. So
Hey Kaiser, you could color my Wolverine.
Yeah.
The Wolverine, dude. There you go.
What else you got? Forget that animation stuff. Let's get into the
Kaiser. I got 7 pages of Kit Carter I need colored. Can
I got dibs on them first. So.
Well, what didn't we have him on here and we were trying to coax him into coloring stuff? He's like, I'm not a colorist.
Yeah.
All right.
All I remember is him destroying us all, and we shouldn't have him back.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah.
No, I have very different memory. I think I killed you guys is all I remember.
You weren't even here last week.
Was anybody even on the show besides me? I can't remember.
You haven't seen it?
No, he doesn't watch it. He doesn't watch the show.
Here you go. You guys had a show without me, and now you're going to break the news to me?
Yeah, they were already got 5,000 views.
See, I think you guys need to remember this. See, I brought some heat on the.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I brought the heat too. I didn't want to.
That's right. That is a good one too. Gosh darn it. Why did you have
David?
To show yours? I had the audience in my hand, and then you showed yours and ruined it for me.
You've done it to me plenty, pals. One good turn deserves another.
Oh, we're gonna do Scooby-Doo 2 next.
Yeah.
All right. So are we doing Atlas Comics and such next week?
I thought that was cool. What were the options?
Atlas. It was Atlas Tower, so Gary could get his Wally Wood in there, but they won't get
hit.
No, they won't.
Atlas Tower and Charlton, I think.
Charlton.
Because Wally Wood worked for all of those, didn't he?
That's true. Thunder Agents, which was my least favorite thing Wood ever did, was Thunder Agents, but
I love the name though.
Yeah, it's a good name.
It's sort of like I loved Bill Willingham wrote. I think it was Bill Willingham wrote Justice Machine. I was like, man, I love that. Right. Such a great comic name, but I don't think I ever read any of the issues.
Well, he also did the Elementals, which was really cool. That was a hot book for a while.
Oh, that might have been what I'm thinking of. Yeah, or maybe did
Justice,
both.
There was Justice Machine up there too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, David. Let's get full screen of that Superman. Let me do.
Whoa!
I'm going to make you big here, and before we leave, okay, give us the full shot of that Superman in full color again, will you? Like pull back so we can see the whole thing.
How are you doing that? That's weird. You're like doing pan and scan.
So is that? Are you doing? So are you on that white? Is that Presto pen, and then you're like doing some splatter, or what are you doing there?
No, that's all splatter. And I was just, oh, wait. On some of it, I did do the Presto pen. You're right.
Yeah, those lines coming out of there, the broken line.
Yeah.
Right?
You just drag it real fast.
So did you color in towards the white and just leave the white open, or did you put the white on over the top of the color?
No, I put the color in and I left some white open.
Okay, and then you splattered around.
And then I just splattered on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a great piece. You didn't do that on the show, did you?
No.
Okay. Good.
He did it over the course of 5 shows.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So don't color Wolverine. Send that to
Whoa.
Kaiser and see what he does with it.
What is this pan and scan thing going on? Whoa! Crazy.
It's like a Disney ride.
I know. Whoa! How do you do that?
Kelsey's gonna puke.
I want this technology. This is great.
Squib says that Robin is sick.
That Wolverine looks like me when I've eaten too much cheese.
Yeah.
Toilet.
Oh wait, now we can see the Green Lantern now. See, you turned the light off. We can see it.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, but you don't get to see all the cool gray tones underneath. So.
Let's see Robin. Oh, yeah.
Dude, wait a minute. How are you doing that with the camera? What do you got, man? Look at that.
Is that just doing it by itself? Is it?
Yep, it's possessed.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
What are you going to do with that Robin?
I gotta paint it. I gotta transfer it, and I gotta do a painting.
Is that a commission or something you're just doing and gonna offer?
It was just something I'm doing and I'm posting up.
All right.
Awesome.
Look at that Green Lantern. Love that Green Lantern. You got to finish that first, dude, because that's you got responsibility to the show.
Yeah.
You got to finish that Green Lantern.
But all this
I like the camera's choice of subject.
Yeah, it's automatically zoomed in on Ms. Marvel.
No, it's always going to him, going, yeah.
Oh, hey.
These are available, right, David?
Yes, they're all available. So, if you want to get in touch with me to find out how you can get them,
Kaiser sent me something. Hang on a second. I want to see what he sent me before we tune out here.
It's the winning piece, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you know how these guys are.
Winning piece.
Wait a minute, did you send an email? Because it's not an Instagram.
Oh, thank God. I was feeling good about myself.
There it is. Oh, that's cool. You guys would love to see us, but I'm not going to show it to you because you're all a bunch of dicks.
Goodness gracious. Language.
No, I'll show
I'm like Aaron a lot more right now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, right?
True Aaron finally comes out.
That's right.
No
The id showed itself.
Yeah, I love it.
He's been holding it back all this time, and it took Graybeard.
We drove him to it. That's it. He used to be such a nice guy.
Whoa, look at that.
Wow. Holy moly.
Wow.
That's great.
Sheesh.
Woo.
So glad you weren't on today's show.
I know, man. Sheesh.
I don't remember Gil Kane ever drawing Pitt, but
Oh, yeah, I guess I finally broke. Aaron, you salty old dog, says Daniel.
Right. We broke him, fellas.
We knew
Good
it
job.
was in you. We knew it was in you. It only took a couple shows to bring it out.
You know what? We should actually bring Kaiser back next week because I bet he has no clue about Atlas Comics or Thunder or any of those things.
It don't matter.
That's true. That's true.
It don't matter.
No. Does Larry Stroman know anything about those? Can we maybe hit him with those?
Artibroy, 1 week in California and Aaron comes back a potty mouth. See, oh my goodness. I lost my mind there for a minute. What can I say?
Speaking all that filth, floor, and slander.
This is why you watch this show, because you just never know what Kelsey's going to induce me to say.
Yeah, blame Kelsey. Kelsey made me do it.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody, you guys, we all have campaigns. The links are in the description of this video. So you want to check those out. And also our good friend, Mr. Kaiser Stone, he has a book up on Fund My Comic as well, an art book. So you want to check that out. I don't have the link here, but just go to fundmycomic.com and you'll be able to find it there, sitting alongside of Kelsey's book called Scribbles.
And Corn's is Coranimation.
Yes, very cool.
And don't forget Andy Smith's book.
That's right, Cordrath, The Reckoning on Indiegogo. And there's David Williams' depiction of his first man character, very buff.
Yeah.
Look at the guns on that guy, man.
I see no guns, only arms.
Arms of power. Anyway, that's going to wrap up another show for us this week. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We could not do this show if it weren't for you in the audience joining us and participating and ripping me apart like you do every week. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week, I guess, won't we? Kelsey, you're going to be back in town. When's Florida? Is it next weekend?
No, it's this weekend. So yeah, I'll be back by the next one. I'm sure.
And you'll probably be in a great mood and ready to draw.
Yeah, I'll be thrilled. I'll be well rested. Yeah, it'll be great.
So we'll get the Kelsey.
Oh man. All right, everybody. Thanks. Have a great day, and we will see you next time right here on Graybeard Studio.
Later.